Hello there, welcome to the Grade 9 Advanced End of Term 3 explanation videos. I'll explain all the 23 exam topics in these coming videos. Do watch them in continuity, watch the first video and then the second and then so on. But if you already know the topics thoroughly, yes, you can jump and it's easy to navigate because each video is named based on the topic. So please use this videos to the fullest. I'm Justin D'Souza, your math teacher, and this is my channel. If you have not yet subscribed to it, please do hit the subscribe button. Subscribing is free, but it would mean a lot to me. And I want to thank all those who have subscribed. I really and greatly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Now we will begin. But before we start with the explanation videos for the first topic, I will quickly run through the Heikel, that is the exam scheme. Here you have three parts, that is part 1, 2 and 3, where the part 1 and 2 is 10 topics each, whereas part 3 is the writing. Only 3 questions will be asked. But the marks differ. The part 1, 10 questions will have 3 marks, whereas the part 2 has 5 marks each. And the writing varies from 6 to 7. The 2 bonus questions are also in writing, that is in part 3, and they are 5 marks each. The part 1 is supposed to be much easier or simpler compared to the part 3. We will do all the videos, so not to worry. And the part 2 over here, 11 to 20, and then the last part. Please do revise thoroughly. I may not be able to solve each and every problem. I will give you an idea how to solve that specific objective. Say, for example, this topic, I will solve 1 or 2 problems, but it is up to you to solve more problems. The more problems you solve by yourself and practice by yourself, you will be more thorough. So please make an attempt to solve it, write and solve. It is very crucial. And I wish you all the very best and happy learning. The first topic is to write and analyze conjectures by inductive reasoning. Basically, we need to analyze some patterns, or you need to predict what's going on, in set of values or set of times, or in this example, we have appointment times. Let's see this. Write a conjecture that describes the pattern in the sequence, then use the conjecture to find the next terms in the sequence. Conjecture is telling something, it's not like a conclusion, but it's similar to a conclusion. You're saying this is what's happening. Now you can see the appointment times, that is 8:30 a.m., 9:15 a.m., 10 a.m., 10:45 a.m. So what's going on? It might be a doctor's clinic, and the appointment times are given such that after every certain time you get another appointment. So if you look closely, analyze this, look for the patterns. Now, what's being done? Over here you can see there's 45 minutes gap from 8:30 to 9:15. Again 45 minutes. Again there is a 45 minutes. So what will be the next appointment time? Add 45 minutes to 10:45. That will be 11:30. So this, each appointment is 45 minutes after the previous appointment. So the next appointment will be 45 minutes after 10:45 a.m. That is 11:30 a.m. or 11:30. So this is how so simple this is. Now let's see another problem where there are numbers. You can see there's number half. Then 1, 2, 4. What would be the next number? Again, write them and analyze the pattern over here. It's 0.5, 1, 2, 4. If you can see, you're multiplying by 2, isn't it? Over here also it's multiplied by 2. Again, it's multiplied by 2. It should be good for all the terms. It should be the same pattern for all the terms. And now you know the next one will be again multiplying by 2. It's multiplied by 2. So all you need to do is multiply 2 to 4. And you will get 8. The 8 is the correct answer. This is it. So now these problems are for you to find out. Take your time, try solving each of them, and then compare the answers. So over here you can see 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. It will be 24 and so on, because 4 more than the previous term. Here you can see it's 2, 2, 2, 3 2s, 4 twos, 5 twos, and so on. Same way over here, multiplying half each time, and it'll be multiply 2 in the denominator or half to the entire term. Over here, now this is interesting. Here you're just doing each term 1.5. Okay, sorry. If you analyze this properly, now you can see 1 is being deducted, and this is what? 11 by 2. This is 5.5, 4.5, 3.5. So basically half is being deducted. Okay, so over here, just that it's not written in the decimal places, so that's why you just get confused. But if you look carefully, it is 6. 11 by 2 is 6.5, 5.5. So then it is 5. Then 9 by 2 is 4.5. And then we have 4. And then next one will be 3.5. That is 7 by 2. So that's the answer. Same way over here, we did a times problem. Similarly, you can find the times. And over here, percentage humidity is reduced by, here it is 7. Over here, 7. So next one will be 79%. So that's the first step. Over here again, you can see there is some pattern over here. 3, 3, it's keep on moving. So it is being shaded over here now. What's happened over here, over here, over here, over here? Now, this, and next one would be going up. Why? It's on the counterclockwise. And then this pattern is reducing over here. And the next one will be just 2, because from 4 it's reduced to 3, then it's 2, and it's 1, similarly. And then now we will look into last type of problem. It's still in the first topic. There's one question. See, the question number 9 is included. That's a different type. Now, say for example, they are asking you, make a conjecture about the sum of squares of 2 consecutive natural numbers. List or draw some examples that support your conjecture. Now, they're asking you to make, find sum of squares of 2 consecutive natural numbers. What does it mean? Natural numbers are counting numbers. They are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all those, okay? 0 is not included in natural number, and it's only whole numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now, 2 consecutive means if I choose 2, then the next one must be continuous. It will be 3, and then it goes on. We need to sum the squares. That means we need to square this plus square this. So think of any number in your mind and write it down. I'm thinking of 7. Okay, square this plus the next term, 8 square. Okay, we need to find the pattern of that. So let's take some examples over here, random examples. 1 square plus 2 square, 7 square plus 8 square, 10 square plus 11 square. Find the answers. You can find more, but these are plenty of examples over here. What is it? Does it end only with 1? No, 3, 5. But if you look closely, you will come to know that all these numbers will end only with odd numbers. See, all the sums are odd numbers. So the conjecture is the sum of squares of 2 consecutive natural numbers is odd numbers. That's it. Similarly over here, the product of 2 odd numbers. You need to take some examples. Take 2 examples over here, and then, wait, sorry, over here, let me take. Now, what do you take is the product of 2 odd numbers. Let's take any 2 odd numbers, 3 into 1, or 3 into 7. You can take huge numbers as well, but it's just that you have to calculate it by yourself. So take reasonable values. It doesn't need to be consecutive, so it's fine. Okay, let me take 5 into 7, or say 7 into 7. Okay, you can take more examples. Multiply them. Over here, the answer is 3. Here it's 21, 35, 49. Every time 9 into 3. 9 threes are, it'll be 27. So every time you take 2 odd numbers, the product is also an odd number. That is the conjecture. You take some examples, check it out, and then you can write it. So these are the 2 types of questions. So if you're getting confused, just go back over here. Everything is mentioned in details. You can follow the same steps and try. You can try some more, You can try more examples. Say, try the product of two even numbers. Sometimes they you might not find any relation. That is fine, but sometimes you do find relation. You can try, perfect squares, or squaring, add the squares. Try different things, odd squares. Keep trying. You can find the patterns. So this is it. So see what is given and then find some examples and then give your conjecture. The second topic is to prove theorems about angles. We're dealing with angles. Mainly we have to use this angle addition postulate. It is very basic, very simple. Only few concepts needs to be remembered. Now, whenever you see this 90 degree, what does this mean? That is 90 degrees. Sorry, I told whenever you see this 90 degree, this is a right angle. Sorry, whenever you see a right angle, you must remember it is 90 degrees. That is the first thing. And also you must always remember, if there are many angles formed in a say over here, you can see there is one angle, one angle, one angle. Many angles are formed in this figure. The sum, if it is known, must be equal to sum of the individual angles. What it means is, now if you add this 1, 2, 3, it must be equal to the total sum. So how do we find it? If this total is given, now let's solve this anyways. They want to find this the third one. They have given you the first and the total. You know the second is 90. All you need to do is the total minus 1 and 2 will give you the 3. Let us see over here. First analyze the given figure. We know what is given in the figure, sorry. 1 is given, 2 is not given, but you must know 2 is 90 degrees. And then total angle is, that is measure of ABC, that is 131. Now what do? Apply the angle addition postulate. What it says is, if you add 1, 2 and 3, the total sum must be equal to the 131. And then what you do is just simplify and solve. This is by substitution property, where we substitute all that we know and find the unknown. So 131 minus 23 minus 90 will give you 18. And that is it. That is the answer. Similarly, using this concept, the little complicated problems can be solved, whereas over here there is no angle, there is no 30 degree, there's no 40 degree, it's just in x and y terms. But it's the same. Over here they have told measure of angle 4 and measure of angle 5. Now, which is the theorem that you know over here? See, a straight line is always 180 degrees. So now, if it's a straight line, it's always 180 degrees. If it's a circle, it is 360. If it's two sides, a protractor, for example, you have 180, 180. So total will be 360. But if it's only one, then it is just 180. Now, this straight line can be tilted. It can be tilted like this or like this. Anywhere you will have 180 degree. So now, for example, over here, 4 and 5, measure of 4 and 5. Here, 4 and 5, if you add it up, it must be equal to 180. There is no other angle. So it must be equal to 180. So add. And one more thing, if this is 4 vertically opposite angles, so they are also equal. 4 and 4 this will be, and this will be equal to over here, it will be 5. So this is one more thing. But for now, this 4 and 5 will be equal to 180 degrees. So some of these both will be 180, right? So all you need to do is given. Now, angle additional postulate. Over here we know from supplementary theorem, supplement is about 180 degrees. Now, all you need to do is add these both, and that will be 180 degree. What is these values? Substitute over here by substitution property. X plus 9 plus 2x. The x value is 57 degrees. Now, is it over? No, they asked us to find measure of angle 4. We found the x value. Now substitute x over here and solve. You will get x plus 9, that is 57 plus 9. 66 is your final answer. 66 degrees. Now there is one more thing. Just remember, if it's two angles, if it's like a straight line, this is supplement. Now if it is right angle, then it is called a complement. Now it's up to you to remember whichever method is easy. But now I'll tell you how you can remember as Compliment is telling something good, or you have done something right, therefore you tell compliments. So if they tell you complimentary, remember right, because you are told right or something. The right angles are always 90 degree. So this is one way. Whereas supplement is 180 degrees. Supplement is giving something extra. Now, if you go to gym, some of you might have known, some people who go to gym take supplements. That is something extra. So 90 degrees complement extra to this. Give another 90. That will be 180. This is supplementary. 180 would be supplement. So that's about these problems. Now it's your turn. Pause this video now over here and solve these by yourselves. And they are not difficult, they're easy, they're simple problems. Please do solve it by yourselves. I'll just tell you over here a few of them. This measure of ABCD, I'll just tell you in general how to do. The total measure is given as 120 degrees. So add them both, they equal to 120, and you can solve it. Now, say for example, you can use your calculator for this. Okay, I'm just doing it directly. Now we know 2x plus 5x minus 6, that is equal to 120. That is the angle addition postulate. If you press equal to, you will not get the answer because x is variable. You need to press shift and then solve it up. What is the answer? You will get 18 over here. The x value is 18, but what do you want is CBD. So instead of x, put 18, that is the answer, minus 6. And now this is the answer, 84. So this is the thing. Now over here, x was 18. Oh, sorry, we have to find both. I just saw CBD. We know x was 18. 18 times 2 is 36. That's it. This was 54 and this is 36. Now over here it is the same thing. They have given you the sum. Add them all. You can do it in calculator and solve it. Similarly, you can try all of them. Over here, 2 and 3. Can you see over here, 2 and 3? They have told complement. Complement means a right. These both are 90 degree. Whereas one, okay, and they have told this is equal to this. These both are equal, 1 and 4. And they have given you this measure. So if they have told you 2, you can easily find this is 28. So what is the remaining angle? 90 minus 28. It will be 62. So this will be 62. Now, this total is a supplementary, right? Total is a straight line. So you know this 28, this is 62. Now 1 and 4 is equal. So let me write x unknown value, x and x over here. Because if this is x, this is also x. Why? Because they both are same. All you need to do is now alpha and x plus 28, because it is given. Then you need to add to 62, and then you need to again add x. That will be equal to 180 degrees. So now when you press shift and solve, you will get the answer 45. You can see over here. I'm so sorry, the x value is 40. Yeah, that's it. Correct. I thought we had to substitute anything. No. X is 45, and over here we didn't have an equation. We assume this angle to be x. So now angle 1 is 45. Yes. Angle 2 is not as it's given, 28. Angle 3 is 62. And angle 4 again is 45 degrees. So this is how we can solve all these problems. Please do try it by yourselves and solve. They're very, very straightforward. And if you know one angle, say over here m is 105, then this will be 180 minus that. Same way, easily you can find the angles. The third topic is a simple topic where you need to analyze the figure and solve. Over here, you need to find the parallel lines, parallel planes, and the skew lines. Now we will start. They are asking to name all the lines that are skew to BC. Now remember, skew means not parallel and should not touch this line. So over here, if this is BC, this is parallel, 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 all have the same slope, right? But what about this? This is not parallel, this is also not parallel, but sadly they're touching this line, so ignore them. Now the ones which I will draw in the pink color, here, this is a skew line and this is a skew line, this and this. So DEEH and AF and FG. So these are AF, DE, FG, and HE. Those are the skew lines. I'll repeat the skew lines, skew, that is over here, to BC are the ones which are not parallel and will not touch them. So that's it. So that's how we do it. And now the parallel lines to EH. Let us see the parallel lines. They are mentioned EH. This is the one. So parallel lines would mean having the same slope. So this is a parallel line. This is a parallel. This is a parallel. Apparently only three parallel lines. So they are the answers. That is A, B, C, D, C, D, and F, G. And lastly, the planes that are parallel to DCH. See, this is a plane, right? Any 3 points must be mentioned in a plane. So this is a plane. Now, this is not parallel. None of them. Only one parallel over here, this one. So you can tell AFG or ABG or any of the 3 points. This is a plane that is parallel to it. So that is the parallel plane. ABG is mentioned. You can also see AFG is the same thing. So look into the options which have been mentioned and then select it. This is one of the most simple topic. That's it. That's how we solve it. Sorry. Okay. So in the next section, we will move on to the next topic. The fourth topic is with regards to the angle relationship theorems. Now, whenever we know there are two parallel lines, there is some relationship happening. Now, you can see this is transversal. Now, if you consider, say, A and B, these are parallel, and this would be the transversal. You need to see which are the interior angles of the parallel lines. Now, only focus on the ones which I have marked. Two parallel lines, which are the angles inside to each other. That would be this and these over here. They are inside or interior. So always remember the inside angles are interior, whereas the ones outside are exterior, external. Okay. Now the next thing is, if they are opposite like this, they're called alternating. In the other side, alternate. If it is same in the same side, they're consecutive. Consecutive is continuous. Same thing over here. Alternate would mean outside and opposite sides. Now there are few things. If you see an interior angle which is alternating or opposite to each other, they will be equal, provided these two lines are parallel. So now if the A and B is parallel, then I can say 2 and 8 are congruent. They are the same. Why? Because they are interior alternate angles. Or if anyone tells you these both are congruent angles, 2 and 8, then you can tell A and B must be parallel because it's the converse of alternate interior angle. So I'll just recall few of the formulas. One is alternate interior. Next one would be alternate exterior, outside angles, exterior. Now then there is corresponding angle. Corresponding, see, imagine this is a pair. And over here, these are the two parallel lines, L and M. Over here, if I'm considering this angle 4, it's down left side. Then here down left side is corresponding. It is similar to that. Same position. These both are congruent as well. And then lastly, we have one thing called consecutive angles. So now consecutive interior. These both are interior and continuous, right? If you add them up, it will be equal to 180 degrees. This is last theorem. We will now apply these theorems over here. If you want more detail of each and every theorem, in detail explanation is given in the lesson explanations, which is already there. You can check it out, or I'll put it in the comments or the description to that particular lesson explanation. Now over here, if you remember those, these theorems, let us see now. 2 and 7. Here we have 2 and over here we have, 8. Sorry, my bad. It's 2 and 8. Look at them. Which are the theorem? Which is the theorem? It is alternate interior. But now they are asking us whether these are parallel or no. Which lines are parallel? Now, if 2 and 8 are congruent or equal, then A and B will be parallel lines. So here A and B are parallel. Why? Because of the converse or alternate interior angles, converse. That's it. Now over here, 3 and 11. 3 is over here, 11. Now the positioning is the same, isn't it? The position. 3 is down right side, 11 is down the right side. It's corresponding. So converse of corresponding angles theorem. 12 and 14, let's see where is 12 and 14. Over here is 12, over here is 14. It is exterior outside angles to AB is parallel now. Now before that, once again, 3 and 11, if you notice, makes L and M parallel. And now over here, 12 and 14 will make A and B parallel by alternate exterior angle converse. Similarly, please do solve these by yourself. See, just the same similar thing, similar concept, but the values are different. Do solve this up. So one by one, pause the video, solve it by yourself, and then check the answers. I'll quickly go through this one, the fourth one. 5 and 12 will make L and M parallel because they are equals to 180. That means it's converse of interior consecutive angles. See, consecutive interior angles converse or converse of consecutive interior angles. Similarly, all they are very, very straightforward. Please do solve them by yourself and then check for the answers. The fifth topic is on rotational symmetry. We need to find the order magnitude of symmetry, and then we need to also identify whether it has point symmetry. What does all this mean? First of all, if you can rotate any object, now rotate this object, and if it is shaping into itself, now say imagine I will take this as A and this one as B. Now let me rotate this. This will come down over here and this all will change its places, okay? And if this is C, C will come down, D will come down, everything changes. So now the base will be B, the A will go to the left side like this, A, and then if you just shape it itself, okay, that's a not that accurate, but I hope you get understand what I'm trying to say over here. So then now if you look carefully, it'll be something like this. This object, whenever you rotate it, it's going to shape into itself. When you rotate it side by one. So this is having a rotational symmetry. That's it. Rotational symmetry means you need to rotate the object and you must get the same object before 360 degrees. Now 360 means an entire turn. No, not 360. Before 360, yes, we got it. How do we understand how many degrees do we have to turn this? It's very simple. First, you need to see the order. How many times can you rotate this to get the same image? In this case, it's the number of sides because each time I change the side, I'm going to get it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. The order is 5. Let me clear all this. The order would be 5 over here. The rotational symmetry exists. Yes. Order is 5. Now, what about the magnitude? Magnitude is always given by 360 degrees, the total angle, divided by the order, that is over here in this case 5. That you should just solve it in the calculator. So 36 times 2 will be 72. 72, I believe. Yes, 72 degrees. So this is the answer over here. Now how we got it? We have to find the order and divide it by 360, and that's it. You will get the answer for the magnitude. Now, what next other things? They have told about something called point symmetry, right? What is this point symmetry? Point symmetry is basically if you can shape this, you can rotate this object along 180 degree along the point of origin. So now what it means is, imagine I have a rectangle like this. Okay. Now, if I do 90-degree rotation, it'll be something like this. No. But if I do again 180 degree, it's going to be the same rectangle. So whenever you can rotate an object along 180 degree along its center, then it is point symmetry along its point. Now, what is the shortcut to find this out? Make this upside down. So make this upside down. This goes up. It'll change like this, and then the pointy part comes down. No, it's not. Okay, that is a very bad drawing.
but I just hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It'll be looking like this, isn't it? The pointing comes down. If you make it upside down, 180-degree means upside down, isn't it? So no, it's not the same. There is no point symmetry. That's it. If it was, say, the letter Z, turn it like this, one turn it'll be N, but again you turn it, it'll be again Z, isn't it? Can you see this Z? If you turn once, this will come this side, it'll be N. Now again, turn this to the other side down, it'll be Z. This has point symmetry. So this is the example. Now let's see one more problem, few more. With this one, as you look at it, you can see one of the shape is so odd over here. It doesn't matter how much you change. See, all are straight, but this is odd. So one time you rotate, this is going to come up. Then it's going to be like this side. There is no way you will get any symmetry. There is no way, because there is all straight lines and this is odd line. No, there is no rotational symmetry at all. If there is no rotational symmetry, there is no order, none, then there is no magnitude as well. There is no point of symmetry also, because if there is point of symmetry, that means it will have a rotational symmetry of 180 degrees, isn't it? So there is none over here. Now this one, this is interesting. Two sides are parallel, these are in relation. So now what if I rotate it 90 degrees? Because there are four sides, the minimum you can rotate is 90 degree when this side comes down. It's going to be like this. Now, do you think this is having a rotational symmetry of 90 degree? No, it's not going to happen. Why? Because this two is not equal, right? And these sides these are a little bigger. I've done a much bigger one, but this for your understanding, this and this is not equal. So no, there is no 90 degree. Let's try again. Let's rotate this again. This will come down and these sides will go up and it'll be like this. Now, yes, you will get the original image. Why? Because 1 and 1, this will be 2 and 2, this is 2 and 2. My drawings are not accurate, but I hope you understand whenever you do this, it will be the same shape. So this has rotational symmetry. The order is 2 because, okay, now 180 degree, yes. Now, one order is done. If you do it again, it's going to be something like this. But again, at 360, you will get one more. So there are two orders, two times it can be shaped when you rotate by 360. So if it's two times, that means the magnitude is 180 degree. If the magnitude is 180 degree, it has point symmetry because it maps in about its center, it maps onto itself at 180 degrees. So this is the concept behind the symmetry. It is very simple. It's just that you should know that point symmetry means 180 degree or upside down. Just think about the upside down, the shortcut. If you can see, yes, this upside down, it'll be the same thing. Okay, now one way to do this is if you have a tab or a mobile phone in your hand, just turn it upside down. Just if your mobile phone is like this, so okay, now it's all full screens. So just swap it, turn it upside down. If this is A and B, so make it B and A, upside down B and A, and then see this image will be the same. So just swap it. It will be the same size. Sorry, my drawings are always magnified or changed. So this is the thing. That's a shortcut way to understand the point symmetry. Whereas rotational symmetry is you need to analyze that object, see whether you can map onto itself before 360 degree, and if so, how many times, and then you can easily find it out. So that's the end of that topic. In the next section, we will learn other topics.
The sixth type of topic is to prove triangle angle sum theorem. Now, this triangle angle sum theorem is very simple. All it says is a triangle is made up of total angle of it is 180 degrees. So now if you add the angles of all the triangle, the sum will be 180 degrees. So this is the concept. Now imagine you have been given this to be 60. This is 60 over here. And then what is this angle? All you need to do is 180 minus 60 minus 60. That'll be 60. That will be the answer. And since all the angles are equal and then the sides will be equal, it'll be called as an equilateral angle. Now, over here, you can see closely, this is a square or rectangle, but it's all made up of triangles. This is one triangle over here, one more, one more, one more, right? So all, if you add the angles individually, if you add this triangle's angle, that is ABF, it'll be 180. And if you add AEF, doesn't matter the size, the angle doesn't, doesn't depend on the size. So angle will be 180 itself. But we need to find BCD, that is B, C, and D over here. BCD, this is the angle. How do we do it? All we need to do is find the angle. Okay, now here this is also in terms of x. First, find the x and then substitute and solve. So what I mean is, you need to find the x value first. But before that, this is unknown right over here, which is this angle. If you look closely over here, you have a 90 degree. So if you have a 90 degree on one side, always a straight, this will be a linear pair. That means when you add them, it will be supplementary angles. That means if you add the two angles on a straight line, it will always add up to 180 degrees. So this is 90. So if you do 180 minus 90, it is 90. Or as a thumb rule, you should always remember, when you have 190 degree, the other side will definitely be a 90 degree as well. So now over here, you got this 90, so this will also be 90. And there is one more rule that says, if there is 190 degree on a triangle, then the other two sides must add up to be 90 degree. What I mean is, let's do this with the triangles angle sum theorem. I would be adding the angle B plus angle D plus angle C, right? This total angle will be equal to 180 degrees. So now let me keep B and C as it is. Angle B plus C. But what is angle D? This is 90. So I'll take this to the other side. It'll be 180 minus 90. Now, if you look carefully, what's going to happen? When you add these both, you must get 180 minus 90, which is 90. So we don't do this all the time using triangle angle sum theorem. Uh, all we need to remember is, whenever there is a 90 degree, the other two angles add up to be 90 itself. So now I can directly write, say like this: BCD plus DBC equals 90 degree. And this is all what I just now told over here about the 90 degree and the summing. Now substitute that. BCD is 2x over here. BCD, it should be first, but anyways, it's the sum of these both. So when you sum this, x plus 8 and 2x minus 2, that will give you 90 degrees. Now what else? You need to just simplify this. Now you can simplify this by adding the x's. 2x plus 1x is 3x, and add 8 minus 2, subtract, and then take it to the other side. What happens? 6 will become negative, because 8 minus 2 is 6 over here. When you change the sign or subtract both the sides by 6, so it'll be 90 minus 6, that's 84. I'll write it directly, 84. So then it'll be 3 divided by 3, 2. Okay, it'll be 28. 28 will be the answer for x. So now this is the answer. Now, if you're getting confused with these steps, you can also use your calculator directly, because you have your scientific calculator. You can double check your answer by putting alpha x, this term as it is, alpha x plus 8 plus 2x, that is alpha and this symbol, minus 2. What is that equal to? It is equal to 90. Now, if you press equal to directly, you will not get the answer, because you have pressed the equation. You need to press the shift button and then solve the equation. And now press equal to, your answer is 28. That is absolutely right. You can put the brackets if you're thinking why I've not put, but since it's all plus over here, it doesn't, you're adding those both, it doesn't matter. So if it was minus, then it would be very crucial to put the brackets. Shift and solve will give you the answer. If you're thinking how I got that x, you can rewind, go back in the video, or alpha and this symbol. That's it. Now here we got the x value as 28. But remember, this is not the answer. You need to put this back. Put this back. 2 times x minus 2. Instead of x, you put 28 and then solve it. 28 times 2 is 56. Minus 2 is 54 degrees.
So this is the angle of C. So that's it. So similarly, you can solve the others. Now, please do solve these by yourselves and then check the answer. Pause the video now. Try solving it by yourself. I'll just quickly tell you how to solve it if you're getting confused. You know one angle over here, this is 90, two angles are known. The total sum must be 180 degree. So 180 minus 90 is 90, minus 30 is 60. So angle number 2 is 60 over here. So same way over here, you know this is 90, so this will be also 90 left side. 90 plus 60 is 150. 180 minus 150, this will be 30. So that's how we can do. Similarly over here, this all nothing is right angle, so you need to solve this first. Add these up, it'll be 180. So 180 minus 66 minus 58 will give you 1. Then if you know 1, imagine now 1 is equal to uh, I don't know, I didn't calculate this, but anyways, if say for example it's 40, which is not equal, which is not the correct answer, say 40, then this will be 40. Why? Because of the vertical angle theorem. Always the vertical angles of two straight lines, if there are two opposite angles, they are always equal. You can see one is 56, and this over here 2 will also be 56 because they are vertical angles. And then you can do 180 minus 50 and 56, you'll get this. Similarly, you can try solving the others. They are pretty straightforward. Over here, you can just solve this first, and then you can solve the others one by one. Please do try them by yourself and then check out the answers. Over here, it's the same thing. Over here, it's just that these both are equal. They are mentioned they're equal, and then you can solve it. And if you have any doubts, you can just put it in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Same way, please do try these as well until 7. This is it. Now over here you can see all the angles are given in terms of x. So basically you can easily put this in calculator and solve x, that is 7x minus 7 plus this term plus this term must be equal to 180. You will find the x and then put the x back over here and solve it up. So this is it. This is how we can solve it. And over here you can use the exterior angle theorem, or if you're getting confused, you can just solve this one. Okay, 180 minus 9, and these both are equal. Just put it in the calculator and you can easily solve it up. In the seventh topic, we have plenty of polygons. And here we need to see the corresponding parts of them and then write the congruent statement. What it means is, now imagine I have two triangles. Now, if, okay, that is a very bad drawing. Let me just draw like this. Okay. If they are congruent, then the sides, all the sides over here will be equal to each other. But now all the three may not be equal. This might be 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. So how we do is, if one line is mentioned and this is mentioned, they both are equal. Another side will be having two lines, and then over here there are three lines. That means this line is equal to this with this, and the bottom with bottom. That's what it means. Similarly for angles, if one angle over here that's equal, two over here, then it's equal over here, and lastly we have three. So now if at all this was given as A, B, and C, and this as D, E, and F, we can easily write ABC is congruent to DEF. But this won't be just same like that. See, now here you can see they're tilted. They are in different shapes. They have changed their angles. I mean, they're congruent, but they are in different orientation. That's the right word. Now, what you can do is, one way is leave one of the triangle as it is. Let us leave ABC over there. And this one, let us reconstruct according to ABC. Over here, AC is having one line. So in this triangle, the other one, which I'm now reconstructing, that is BDC, which is having one line, that is B and D. Let me draw it down with one. Okay. Now over here, looking at this, you can easily understand A is equal to D. Why? Because one and one line. So I will put D over here. So naturally, the other side will be B. Okay. Next one. That is done. This long line was two dashes. So this will be two dash. Then we have B over here, but in this case, it'll be C. And then the last line is three dash. So now we can tell D is having 1 dash, B is having how much? 1 to 3. So it is 1, 2, 3, and this is only 2. And you can compare this. You can see this is 3, this is 2, and this is 1. Absolutely, this is the correct answer. So this is how you can find the congruent statement. This is not over. You can tell A and B, D is equal, B and C is equal, and C and B is equal. So the congruency statement would be A, B, C. You can write anyhow for the first one. The next one, it's triangle ABC congruent to, this is the symbol, triangle which one? A is D, the corresponding part. B is C over here, and lastly we have C as B. So this is the exact correct answer. So that is the thing. ABC is congruent to triangle DCB. Similarly, over here you can make the same way. Now over here, this double dash is over here, so let me just write this, and then the single one is over here. We can easily observe J and K are opposite angles, so that will be same. So if this is J, the corresponding part over here is L. Upside is parallel over here, so it's K, sorry, over here two lines, that is M in this case, and K with the one line, L and K. So this would be the answer. So it's just that getting the drawing correctly. Then it's just writing, see over here, J is corresponding to L, whereas K is corresponding to M, and M is corresponding to K. So this is how would be the congruent statement. Similarly, you can do it for others. Over here, it's much easier because the angles have been mentioned as well, and the sides have been mentioned. You have to just rearrange this. You can get this shape into the other side or this into the first one. However, now if you're getting this, 5 will be at the bottom, that is Z and Y, and then 4.3 line will be drawn like this will be X. That's it. Now you can write the congruent statement. ABC is X, Y, Z. That's it. So please do all these problems by yourself. They are very, very straightforward. There's nothing much in this. It's just polygons over here. Now A is 109, over here 109. B is 108, 108. Similarly, you can do all the others. So A is corresponding to F, AF, B, J, B and J, C and C is 111, C and I. So C and I, yeah. Similarly, you should do the others. Over here now, before we finish this, this is another type of problem where they have asked you to solve for x and y, but they have already told they are congruent. What is congruent to what? A is congruent to F, B is congruent to D, and C is congruent to E. You can see there are two unknowns, x and y. First, let's solve for y. Why? Because this is 1, B and D is already congruent. We know. So y must be equal to 48. That is very, very straightforward. This is 48 degrees. No doubt, because it's very easy to solve it. But what about x? You know two angles over here, 108, 48. Total angle of a triangle is 180. Just subtract 180 minus 108 minus 48. Now, if you solve this, you will get the answer for A. So let us do this quickly. 100 will be 80, 72 remaining. 24, I believe. Okay. So now, once you have got 24 degrees, this is 24. If this is 24, then this can be equated to 24. 24 is equal to 2x minus y because they both are equal. Now we know y, right? Y is 48. So let's take the this to the other side. So it'll be 24 plus 48 equals 2y. What is the answer over here? 48, 20, 24, 48, 72. 72 equals 2y. Divide both the sides by 2. Y is equal to 72. It will be 36. 36 times 2 is 78, 72. So this is the answer. Let's just check. Yes, x is 32, 36, and 48 is the answer. So this is how we can easily solve it. Whichever method is convenient, you can directly put that in calculator as well. You know y is 48 and this is 20, 24 we got, I guess, 24. So equate 24 is equal to 2x minus 48. You will get the answer directly. So this is how we can easily solve this. Please do try all the problems by yourself. If you do not get the answer, do post them, do comment on the comment section, any of your questions, and I will get back to you very soon. The eighth topic is on the postulates of sides and angles. Now you can see there are three postulates: SSS, SAS, ASA. What does that mean? These means if all the sides are equal, then they are congruent. If triangles. Now, say for example, there are two triangles over here. If all the sides are equal to each other, this sides and these sides are equal, then these two triangles are definitely congruent. Whereas over here, if two sides and the included angle, a side, then an angle in between them, and another side, if these are equal, then again they are congruent. And lastly, we have angle, side, and angle. If there is an angle, then a side, then an angle, then again they are congruent. So these are the three postulates. Based on this, we have to solve problems now. We need to tell whether these triangles, you can see this is one triangle on the top and then one on the bottom, whether these are congruent to each other. And if so, which is the congruency, which is the postulate that makes it congruent? GHL, KJL. Over here, you can see the two sides are equivalent, are equal. See, this and this is equal, this and this is equal. And what about this angle? They have not given anything, but we know from vertical angle theorem, this angle will be equal. So that is congruent, that is SAS. So we know from SAS congruency postulate that these both triangles are congruent because this angle is vertical angle. What about this one? Over here we have the side equal, this one, and we know this is a common side, right? Whether it is this triangle or this triangle, the measure of this will be same. If this is 5 centimeter, then both the triangles will have 5 centimeter line, this one. But do we know any other angle or any other side? No, sadly, we don't have enough information. So it is no. So you cannot use SAS or SAS. You can't use any of them because there is no enough information because we don't know whether the other angle is angles or other sides are equal. And what about this top one? Over here, we have the side equal and this angle is also told to be equal. Now, from that information, we can easily tell this middle side is also equal. Why? Because this is the same side for both the triangles and it will be S side angle side postulate, SAS postulate makes them congruent. So that is the answer, SAS. We can tell triangle A, B, C and over here A and C, D, A are congruent because of SAS postulate. Now, what about this last one? There is 90-90, this angle, this angle. Now, do we know whether the sides are equal or any other sides is equal? Sadly, we do not know over here any other congruency. It's just the two angles. Even if all the three angles are equal, that doesn't mean it's congruent. They might be similar because over here all three angles are equal because two are known. This will obviously be the same. If all the three angles are equal, that doesn't mean that they are congruent. They will just be similar. We don't have enough information to confirm either by SSS or SAS that it is congruent. So that is it. It is a very basic one. Just remember the three postulates and then you can easily solve these problems. The ninth topic in this end of term 3 exam questions is about AAS congruence criterion. AAS means angle side. We had gone through this in a couple of videos before, I believe, about all the different postulates of congruency. Now this is one of it, where two angles and a side is congruent or equal, then the entire triangles will be congruent. Now, this is a proving problem. I'm not exactly sure how this will come for MCQ. Maybe they will ask you, give you a statement and then ask the reason for the statement or something. But once we study this problems thoroughly, you will understand and you can solve it any way they ask you. So let's look at this first one. They've asked for two column proof. Given AB is parallel to CD. Look at this. AB and CD are parallel. And then CBD. Angle CBD is congruent to ADB. That means this and this is congruent. Okay. We need to prove this triangle ABD is congruent to CDB. They have given these both are equal. How can we do the other steps? Let's see. For this, you can do a column, two columns, say for example, like this, and then write the statements over here, statements, and then reasons. And then write the statement and the reason, and you can solve it. Or you can just write the reasons in the bracket, however it's convenient for you. This is more preferred. All you need to write is over here, AB is parallel. These two lines, straight line means it's parallel to CD, and the reason is given. So same way you need to write all the others. So that's it. So just remember this box, statement, and reason. Now, next one, angle CBD. This is also given. Angle CBD is congruent to ADB, given to us. What about the other thing? Now, since these two are parallel, we must recall, remember we had seen few of the theorems about parallel lines, angle, interior angle, exterior angle, corresponding angles. Now we must recall them. Why? Because there are two parallel lines. If the two lines are parallel, then we can use those theorems and we will use them now. ABD, can you see this angle over here, which I'll mark it as 2? ABD will be congruent to either CDB or BDC, this one. Why? Because they are interior angles, right? They are inside the two parallel lines and they are alternating angles. This will be congruent because they are inside the two parallel lines inside, and because they are mentioned this is parallel over here, only then we can use this theorem, otherwise no. Now because they're inside and they're alternating opposite sides, and this was already given, so we got two angles side to side equal. And now carefully look over here, this line, this is the same line for both. Don't you agree? If this is 5 centimeter, even for this triangle and this triangle. So BD and BD, it's reflexive property because it's the same line. If it's same, it's basically like a reflection. So we call it reflexive property. Now from ASA, that is angle side angle, we have solved angle side angle. We have told that these two triangles are congruent. That is how we solve this basically. Now these are the statements and these are the reasons. So this is how we solve. Remember to write the statements and the reasons. Now maybe they might give you a statement and then ask you the reason. So in the MCQs, right? Because you will have 4 options. So you can easily look into the options, deduce the others. You can easily tell, okay, this is wrong, this is correct, this is wrong, this is correct. So please do check the options properly and then solve it up. Now, another one over here. So they have given few things, that is S, V, and T are the midpoints of SV. Prove the two triangles are congruent. I'm just checking for the question. Okay, I'm sorry. I think so. The figure is missing over here. Anyways, we can do with this itself. Let's just try to assume there is two triangles, and they have told SV is the midpoint. Okay, and the angles are equal. Okay, it's very hard to do it without the figure. We have to prove these. So I will just tell you over here what's there. S and V is congruent over here. Why? Because this is the midpoint. Okay, let me tell a few things of midpoints. If you have angle like this, and I tell this is an angle bisector, if it's given, if it's angle bisected, then these both angles will be equal. Please remember that. It will always be equal. Now about midpoint, if I have a line, say S and T and S and V, and then I tell T is the midpoint, then these both lines are equal. That is about midpoint and bisector. These are important, crucial things. So even though we don't have the figure, we can at least solve this. And then over here, ST is congruent to TV. Why? Because that's because of the midpoint. Now they have told T is the midpoint of SV, right? That means this is phi and this is phi. Yes, they must be congruent. Congruent means equal. Then we don't have the figure, but from the figure we can tell this is vertical angle theorem, and then we can easily prove them. So it's very simple, just like this, but it's very hard without the figure. That I'm missing it. I apologize for that. But anyways, um, just like what we have followed over here, same way. Let's see the other problems over here. Say, for example, the flow proof. Okay, this is interesting. Now we have two column proof, which we just now saw, and there is something called a flow chart or flow proof. It doesn't matter because over here, basically you need to just see the options, right? So it doesn't matter which way you prove it, you should just basically prove it. In case you get so confused with this flow chart, just do the statement and reason, it's fine, because the same concept, it's just presented in a different way. It's basically the same food, it's just a different platter. That's the only thing, so now what do we do over here is you need to mention all the givens. This is given, right? AB is congruent to CB. That is AB and CB are equal. Okay, that is given. What is another thing? They are also given that A and C is equal. See, A and C. It's only possible with the figure, so that's why we struggled in the last problem. I'm sorry for that. Now, A and C over here are congruent. Okay, that's also given. What about the other thing? They have told DB bisects ABC. ABC is bisected by DB. That means this angle over here and over here are same. Then, what is remaining? We need to find, okay, 1 second, let's see what and all we found out. Angle, side, angle, side, this much was given, and this is the bisector. That means this and this angle are same. That is what we are telling. ABD and CBD are equal. Why do we get this? Because that is the definition of the bisector. A bisector over here means a line. This is the bisector. B means it cuts this angle into two equal parts. If this angle was 60, it will cut into 30 and 30 equally. Okay, that is about angle bisector. Now we have angle, side, and this angle over here. So we can easily tell because of ASA postulate, it is congruent. So this is it. So this is how we can easily solve it up. And okay, now this is one more thing. What they have asked us to prove AD is congruent to DC. Now, if we prove two triangles are congruent, then all the parts are congruent. This CPCTC, what does that mean? It means that congruent parts of congruent triangle are congruent. There is so much congruence. Now, congruent parts, that means congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So, sorry, I'm so sorry. It's corresponding parts. Okay, I told three congruents. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop laughing just now. Its corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, corresponding means, now imagine these two triangles are congruent. You should see the corresponding. Now, if I take this side AD, this is the corresponding side. This is DC. So, or CD or DA over here. Anyhow, okay, AD and DC. So if I consider this is the corresponding side. Because these are corresponding triangles, they are always congruent. Okay, lots of information. Just please take your time for these videos because they are all paragraph proofs. Over here, it's again the same. All the proofs is written. Just go through it. They have given a lot of information. Just find which is find angle, side, and angle, and then you can easily solve it up. Over here, they have already mentioned CD bisects AE. So over here, this line is bisecting AE. That means AC and CE are equal. So this is equal. Then find the remaining angle. They have told angle E is equal to BCA. Okay. Then we have parallel lines, and we can easily find these two are congruent because of corresponding angles. uh, you know that's it. You need to see what is given and then you need to see what can be solved. So that then easily you can prove them congruent. Same way over here. Make sure you read through this. Over here, it's again a simple one because it's 90 degree over here. Then this is equal, and then you should just find one more angle. Sometimes they'll mention the angle, so it is very simple. That's how we solve it. Over here, they have mentioned CE bisects. Okay, when CE bisects, these both are equal. If this is 90 degree, this is also 90 degree, and this is a common side, so this is equal. So angle, side, angle. Very simple and straightforward. Please do solve them by yourself and then refer the answer. Same way, try this by yourselves and then look for the answers over here. All the answers are given. Now we move to the final topic in the part one, that is the topic number 10. We have to use the right triangle congruency theorems to prove relationships in geometric figures. Before we start the problems, let's quickly go through a few of these things. Leg, hypotenuse angle, leg angle, hypotenuse leg. You might be thinking, what is this? If you have not come across this before. Now let's see over here, there is a right angle. There are two right angles. In a right angle triangle, you will always find a 90 degree. Okay. So now I will draw something like this. It's much easier. If this is 90 degree, the opposite side to the right angle is always hypotenuse, h. This always must be remembered. It's always hypotenuse. Now, what about the other corresponding sides? They are generally called legs. Okay, so now this is the leg and this is another leg. It depends. Now, which this will not be the hypotenuse, other two will be the, sorry, this will not be the leg, that is the hypotenuse. Other than hypotenuse is always legs. Now, one will be beside it and one will be other side of it. So now let us look carefully over here. In a right angle triangle, if the two legs of this right angles of the two triangles are congruent or equal, then it is congruent. That is what it says. This is called leg and leg. Why? Because there are two legs, both the legs are congruent. Now, similarly, if you have a hypotenuse and an angle, it doesn't matter which angle, this or this. If you have the hypotenuse of a right angle and then the angle, then again it is congruent. Or if you have leg and an angle, but this is important, this is the 90 degree, right? The leg and angle must be like this, same way over here. Then we can say this is also this is also congruent. And lastly, we have hypotenuse and a leg, that is the hypotenuse and any of the leg, that will be congruent as well. So these are the theorems which you must remember, and now they're asking us whether each of these are congruent, and if yes, we should tell which congruency. Let's look at this. We have 90 degree over here. We have a leg, it's equal, they have given. And you can see this is from reflexive property, it's the same line, the hypotenuse is just the same. So it is hypotenuse and leg, or leg and hypotenuse, but it's written as HL. We can see over here, HL is the last one which we saw, hypotenuse and the leg. So yes, they are congruent because of hypotenuse and leg congruency. What about this one over here? This also we just now saw there is an angle and the leg over here, angle and leg. So it is leg and angle, LA. Now over here we have 90 degree and then there are two legs. They all are congruent. So it's leg congruency. What about this one over here, the seventh one? We have an angle and we have a leg. Over here, now look at this, the other angle, that is this and this. Is it the same? Okay, they have told this and this is equal. Okay, this is the 90 degree, this is the 90 degree, but this angle is equal to this angle. Now, it is very important, the positioning is same. Did they tell us this side and this side? No, they did not mention that. They have mentioned some other side. So we cannot tell this is congruent, because if it was this side, yes, then 90 degree leg and the angle, 90 degree leg and angle. But over here, it is not like that. Here, the problem is we have another side which is, which is not in between. It's not included. So we cannot be 100% sure that this is congruent. So we can tell it's no enough information, not enough information, sorry. So I hope this is clear, because there are two sides which are equal, but they are not the exact congruent, they're not corresponding sides. That's the thing. They're not corresponding sides. Now let's look at this one. Over here we have a right angle and hypotenuse. Angle and hypotenuse is HA. Yes, that is congruent. We have seen the congruency. And last one over here, we have 90 degree. Okay, that is fine. We have been told this leg and this leg is equal. But is there anything else given? No angle, no leg. So no, not enough information again, because we just know right angle and an angle. So this is how we can easily solve them up. I hope this is clear. Please do try them by yourself, and then you can check for it. So that's the end of the part one. Please stay tuned for the part two, and please do subscribe to my channel if you have found it useful, and do share it among your friends. All the best and happy learning to all.
Hello and welcome back to the part 2 of the end of term explanation videos. I'm very excited to continue with the grade 9 advance. The part 2 will be from the question number 11 to question number 20. Please stay tuned. I will try to upload as soon as possible. Within a few days, all the end of term explanation videos will be uploaded. I am Justin D'Souza, your math teacher. This is my channel, Best Math. If you have not yet subscribed to it, or if you're new to this, please do click on that subscribe button. And also do like my videos and share it among your friends who might find it useful. I would greatly appreciate it. And for all those who have already subscribed my channel and all those who follow my channel and watch the videos and who share it with others, thank you so much. I am very grateful to you all. Now then, we will continue with the 11th topic. Here it is on compound statements. Now, compound statements, it's all talking, basically stating stuff. Okay. Now here, when you talk about compound statements, it means many statements together, or there is some, like a log given to you. Over here, you can see there are many statements, P, Q, R. What does it say? The figure is a trapezoid. Is this a trapezoid? Do you know what is a trapezoid exactly? Trapezoid is like this. If it's a top part of the triangle is cut out, you will get a trapezoid. This is not a trapezoid, so this is false. The figure has four congruent sides. That's the next statement. Is it true? Does it have all four equal sides? Yes, absolutely. That is true. Very good. This is true then. And what about the last one? Four right angles. Yes, it has four right angles. This is a square. Four equal sides and four right angles is only for a square. Now then, they have told and, P and R. What does that and mean? And means both things are required to be true for the compound statement to be true. Now imagine I ask you, I need a pen and an eraser, or pencil and an eraser. That would mean I need a pencil and eraser, and I need both of them. Without that, I cannot continue. I need both of them and eraser. So both are required. But imagine I say pen or pencil. Pencil. This means any one is fine. If I get a pen, it's enough. Or if I get a pencil, it's enough. One needs to be true. But here, and means both needs to be true to be, for the statement to be true. So let us look at this. P, what is that statement? P is false because it is not a trapezoid. Okay, this is not a trapezoid, it's a square. And R is true because it has four right angles. So the compound statement over here, P and R is false. Why? Because one is false. The entire compound statement is false. Let us look in another problem. Now this is and symbol. Okay, if at all you come across this symbol, it means and. Or symbol is like this for all, we, or all, like that. Okay, or. For all symbol is similar to this, it's not this, but this is or symbol and this is and symbol, inverted A. Now how can you remember? A and D, right? Sorry, A is already written. A and D, just that the dash is not there, only A.
So that's and symbol. Now over here they have told negation of P. What does this negation of P means? That means the figure is not a trapezoid. Yes, it is true. This figure is not a trapezoid. And R is true because it has four right angles. So now the truth value would be yes, that is true. Why? Because both are true, and that's the thing. That's the answer. Now we will look into another problem. Say over here, you have, see, this is OR symbol. Okay. Now, otherwise it will be mentioned OR. Here they have given you PQR statements. ABC, the angle ABC and CBD are complementary. Let's see, ABC and CBD. No, these are supplementary. Complement means 90 degrees. Complement, right angle, 90 degrees. Complementing means something right, isn't it? So right angle is 90. No, this is false. Supplement means extra, that is 180. Now, ABC and CBD are vertical angles. ABC and CBD, this is again false. And R, AB and BD are equal. Yes, that is true. Over here it's mentioned AB and BD are equal. So now then, let's analyze these statements. P is false. Okay, they have asked for P. It's not complementary. Absolutely false. Negation of R. R is true. AB and BD are equal, but they told negation. That means it's false. Now, what is the compound statement? If it is a or statement, you must remember both must be true. Sorry, both must be false in order to be false. Even if one is true, the statement is true, the compound statement. Now, here you can see false and false, hence, the compound statement is false. That is the answer. Similarly, please do try these by yourself. I'm sorry for my animation. This is gonna it didn't fade properly. Anyways, now here you have three statements. P, negative 3 minus 2 equals negative 5. Yes, it's true. Vertical angles are congruent. Yes, absolutely. Vertical angles are congruent. And 2 plus 8 is greater than 10. Is 10 greater than 10? No, 10 is equal to 10 or greater than equal to 10. But here it's only greater than, so this is false. Now let us do the statements. P and Q. P and Q both are true. So compound statement is true. Why? Because this and this both is true. What about P or R? Now this is a sorry. This over here, sorry, this is not or, it's and again. Sorry, this is and. So again, and both must be true. Here you're telling R is false, isn't it? P is true. Yes. And this one is false. P is true, but R is false. So it's false. Look at the symbol. I just got confused. I thought it was or. This A, right? It's and. Both needs to be true and true. Only then it is true. Whereas for this symbol, both must be false. Even if one is true, it's true. Only when both are false, it is false. So this is true. Okay. Now here, or symbol. Q and negation of R. What is Q? Yes, absolutely true. Negation of true. This is false, but negation of this is true. So yes, this is true. Any one is true or it will be true. Now, what about these? Over here again, we have or, R, and Q. Now, look over here. R is false. Q is true. If one is true, over. Or it will be true. Now, what about negation of P and negation of Q? Negation of P means it's false, and negation of Q is also false. So, both are false in this case. Then the compound statement is false. And over here, one is false, one is true, but the ultimate answer will be false. It's or again. If one is, see now, whenever you have or, at least one must be true, then the final answer is true. See, negation of R, it was false, but it became true, right? Whereas negation of P, which was true, became false. If one tick is there, it is true. Only for or, or the statements. But for and, both must be true. Only then it is true. If one is false, it's false. So that's how we can solve it. Please remember this, and that's it. That's about compound statements. In the next topic, we will go to the topic 12 in the next video. Please stay tuned.
Now we are moving to the 12th topic where we will learn about the transversal angle pair relationships. Now here you can see there are two lines and this line T is a transversal which cuts both the line. It should be a straight line that cuts. Now, what happens is there are few angle relationships formed. Now, imagine these are the two lines. These inside angles, see, can you see the inside angle? They are interior angle. Whereas the ones which I'm drawing in black, the outer angles or the exterior angles, they have some relationship. So now all the interior angles are these. Exterior angles are the black ones which I marked 1, 2, 8, 7. And then consecutive interior angles. What does that mean? Now you can see these two are next to next, but these two are also next to next. These are consecutive. Okay, they are basically lying on the same on the transversal line. Okay, not on the same line Q, on the transversal line. And then alternate interior angles. Now, alternate generally means opposite. So now if I consider this, for example, 4, alternate to this is the opposite angle. See, can you see this one? 6 is opposite. Same way, for 3 alternate is 5. Even the exterior angles can have alternate 1 and 7, 8 and 2. That is the thing. Now, lastly, we have corresponding angles, which is very crucial. Corresponding depends on the position. Now, let's think about 3. It's down right, same way 7 is corresponding to it, it's down right. For example, 8. 8 is down left is 4. So you can see 4 and 8. We saw 3 and 7. Same way, 1 and 5. 1, 5, and last, this is 5, and 2 and 6. Those are the angle pair relationships. Now we will see a problem over here. They have told about parallel lines always. Okay, now there is one more thing I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry. Uh, when there are parallel lines, see, the thing is, I told you just about transversal pair relationship, but we are dealing with parallel lines. So this is information, very useful information. Now, whatever we just now saw, in that if there are alternate angles, right? These are called alternate interior angles. If these two lines are parallel and then a transversal cuts, then these angles will be equal to each other. So always remember whatever we just now learned, if it is parallel lines like this, then all the interior, exterior, these are all congruent. They are basically equal to each other. Okay. Even the corresponding angles, they are all congruent or equal to each other. So in this case, look at this figure. We can see 3 is interior, alternate interior angle is 6. These both are congruent. Now 5 and 4 are congruent. 7 and 2 congruent. 8 and 1 congruent. There is one more thing, consecutive interior angles, right? Consecutive 3 and 5. Whenever you add 3 and 5, it will be equal to 180 degrees. Same way, 5 and 6, when you add, it will be 180 degrees. Now then, we will solve this particular problem. Use the figure to find the value of the indicated variable. Justify your reasoning. We need to find y if, okay, um, if measure of it. Okay, over here. Okay, I got confused. There's no y over here, so I was confused. Now they have told measure of 8. Let's see, measure of 8 is 68 degrees. This is 68. And then measure of 3 is given to be 3y minus 2. And this y needs to be solved, variable y. How do we do that? So 3y minus 2. Do we have any relationship with 3 and 8? No, we don't have. But do we have any relationship with 3 and 6? Yes, they both are equal. So you can find the angle of 6 because 8, 180 minus 68 would be angle number 6 and they both are equal, equated. Let's see step by step. Now over here, we do not have any direct relationship between 8 and 3. So we will relate this and this. Okay, this has been related, 8 and 5. That's also possible. It's no worries. Now 8 and 5 are the same. So angle phi is 68 degrees. Now then what do? We know the interior angles, consecutive interior angles are supplementary or 180 degrees. So add 3 and 5. That must be 180 degree. That is basically you're adding 3y minus 2
plus 58 of angle phi is 68 degree, that is equal to 180. Solve this, you will get the answer. You can solve it by steps. That is, take 68 minus 2 is 66, and take 66 to the other side. Take 66 to the other side, it will be 180 minus 66, and then whatever the answer is there, you need to divide it by 3. You will get this answer, 38. Or you can use your calculator directly. So what you need to do is put this as it is, 3y minus 2 plus 68 is equal to 180, sorry, 68 is equal to is alpha and calculate, that's the short form for calc, and then you get equal to, you can't press direct equal, you'll get a syntax error because equation is formed. You need to press shift and solve, and then you will get the answer, 38. That's it. So this is how you solve. You need to know the relationship between the different angles. Now over here, I'll just quickly tell you, this and this is total 180 degree. So phi x plus 40 equals 180, and you can solve x value. And then look at this. These are the parallel lines. We know this angle is equal to the, this is the exterior, is equal to the exterior angle over here, alternate exterior angle. So once you know x value, you will know this angle, so equate those both, you will get the answer for y. Same way over here, this is consecutive interior angles, but before that, find the x value. How will you solve the x value? Here this is uh, interior angle, you can, this is an interior angle, and this is also interior angle, alternate interior angles. So you have to equate 8x minus 10 is equal to 7x. Solve for x, you will get the answer. So take this to the other side, x is equal to positive 10. Now once you know x is equal to 10, you can solve this, and then this angle plus 6y plus 20 equals 180 degrees, and then solve it up. Solve it by yourself and then check for the answers. Over here we found the x value, but y you have to solve it, you will get it. Now which theorem you use? Over here there are plenty of theorems. Supplementary angle to find x, and then you use alternate exterior angle. Similarly, the angle, the theorems which we use, or the relationship which we use is mentioned. Same way, please do try these as well, and then you can check the answers. Now let's look at this one. They have told find the measure of each angle. Now measure of angle 3 is given to be 75, 10. Where is 10? That is to be 105. Now what is the measure of angle 2? 10 and 2, here these are corresponding angles, so it is same, it should be 105 itself. What about 5? Whereas 5, 2 and 5 are alternate angles, again they are same, it should be 105. Okay, sorry, all came anyways. Now where is angle of measure 7? Now these both are interior alternate angles, so that's same, again 105. What about the next one, 15? These both are alternate interior angles, equal, so it's 105. What about 14? Where is 14? That's over here. What you can do is 105 minus, sorry, 180 minus 105 will give you 14, and then that is 75. What about 9? Where is 9? 9 is over here. They both are equal, that is 75. So this is the answer. That's how we can easily solve them up. I hope this is clear. Um, so that's the end of this topic 12. In the next video, we'll go to topic 13. If you have any doubts, do post them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Moving on to the 13th topic, it's a bit lengthy one. Let's see this. We have to classify lines parallel, perpendicular. In fact, we're not classifying, we are just finding equations, or we have to graph them. So now over here, this type of questions will be asked in this 22 and 28, 22 to 28, sorry. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line perpendicular to y equals half x plus 9, which passes through the point minus 7 comma minus 4. Now what this means is, they have given an equation, this is the particular equation, and they have told we need to draw a line, not this one. Now this is 0.5 x, it's positive slope, it will go something like this, and the intercept, y intercept is at 9. Okay, this is 9. not this line. We need to draw a line which is perpendicular to it. So, it must be 90 degree to this. So it'll be something, okay, anyways, it'll be something like this, okay? But now where exactly? Is it over here, here? Where is the perpendicular line? That perpendicular line must cross -7 and then -4. So that means x is -7, -4 somewhere over here. It must be crossing. This point must be crossed. So we can just approximate that. But what is this equation? It's hard, right? Let's see how to solve this now. I will repeat this again quickly. See, whatever the equation of the line is given to us is somewhat like this if you graph it, okay? Just approximate. Now we need to draw perpendicular line. We can draw perpendicular lines everywhere, isn't it? Anywhere there is 90 degree or the slope of these two lines is -1 means it's perpendicular. Which point is it? The perpendicular line which we draw must pass through this point somewhere over here. So this is how it's over here something. So that is how we denote it. Now that's why we can find the exact line. Now let us see how to do this. Here, first, we need to analyze the given equations and write the slope for the perpendicular line. Now, this is the given slope, isn't it? What is the slope for the perpendicular line which we are about to draw? We don't know the slope, but we know the product of the two perpendicular line slopes must be -1. So we know this given line is half multiplied with unknown slope, that is the our perpendicular line slope m, that must be equal to -1. So now take this to the other side. 2 to the other side will be -2. So now we know see, this one was something like this. Now -2 means like this. So this is perpendicular. So we know the slope is -2. That is it. We don't know anything else. Now we come to know the slope of the perpendicular line which we are about to solve is -2. It's going downwards. Now let's use the slope intercept form and find the y-intercept. We need to write it in slope intercept form. So it is very important we use the slope intercept form itself to solve the b. The b value is the intercept value where it touches the y-axis. So based on that, we can distinguish between all the other perpendicular lines. Now, we know only the slope, but now there might be hundreds or thousands or infinite lines with the slope. How do we find the exact line which we require? So this point must be passed, right? So let's use that point, that is x and y, as x and y. Now y value is x and y. First is x, second is y. Y is -4, m is the slope -2, and b value is -7 plus this, sorry, m value is -2, x is -7. B value is unknown. That is the y-intercept. We will simplify this. -2 times -7 is +14. Now take 14 to the other side, will be -18. So B value is -18. We got the slope, we got the intercept. Now you can write the equation. See, the slope is known, the intercept is known. Just write y is equal to the slope x plus that's it. Now use the slope intercept form again. We know m and b for the perpendicular line. So slope intercept form, just substitute these values, class. That's the answer. Sorry. This is how we find it. Very easy. I'll repeat the steps again. First one is to find the slope of the perpendicular line. The given line slope we noted and multiply by the perpendicular line slope which we do not know must be equal to -1. So we find the slope. Then what we do is use the slope intercept form and the given points to find the y-intercept, the b value. Once you know the slope and the b value, it's a very simple. Just substitute in the slope intercept form and then get the answer. That's it. This is the answer. Let us see another problem similar to it. Now write an equation of slope intercept form for the line parallel to this particular equation which contains this particular line. Now, this particular point, sorry. Now this is -3/4. It will go downwards. Parallel line to this is like every line with the same slope. There can be thousands of lines. It goes until infinity. But there will be only one line which will pass through this point. If this is x and y, negative 3 comma 6. So there will be only one particular line which passes through this point. So we need to find the exact line. So how do we do? Just like what we have done a while ago. First, write the slope. Slope is the same for parallel lines. There is no change. The slope is negative 3 by 4. And then we need to use the slope intercept form to find the y-intercept value. We know the x and y value over here. X is negative 3, y is 6. Just substitute over here. 6 equals negative 3 by 4 x. Now b is unknown. Solve for b. Just multiply negative 3 times negative 3 by 4 times negative 3 is positive 9 by 4. Negative negative becomes positive. And take the now don't take this to the other side. It should be subtracted. Take it to the other side. It'll be 6 minus 9 by 4. So 9 by 4 is basically 2.25. So 6 minus 2.25 will be the answer. It's 15 by 4. That is about 3.75. So that is the answer for B. But it's not over. Now what you need to do, put it in the slope intercept form. M and B value. Now this is the final answer. That is it. Just like the perpendicular line, but this parallel line is very easy. Why? Because the slopes are same. So we know the slope, use the slope intercept form and find the B value, then substitute in the slope intercept form. This is the answer. Please do try it by yourself. It will be either perpendicular or parallel. When parallel, you can easily find the slope. Perpendicular, you need to multiply this and m equals to minus 1. Or you can write even the negative reciprocal. Now, for example, if you know this, this is the slope, it will always be the negative and reciprocal. Reciprocal of 1 by 2 is 2. Now, where is perpendicular over here? Negative reciprocal, negative minus and the reciprocal of minus 5. So it will be 1 divided by minus 5. It will be 1 by 5. The slope will be 1 by 5. That's it, positive 1 by 5, because negative negative cancels. It's up to you. If you're getting confused, don't worry, just use it. Now over here, there is no slope. It is just a y value, and that's why it's very simple. Now look at this. Y is equal to 7. What does that mean? If you have the graph, y is equal to 7. It's a straight, flat, horizontal line. Now we need to draw a line parallel to this, which passes through the point x minus 1 and y is minus 10. So minus 10 must be the line. That's it. This will be at minus 10. So this was at y equals 7. This will be y is equal to minus 10. Because it's a flat horizontal line, there is no x value. Why no x value? Because the slope is 0x. If you consider any x value, it becomes 0 itself. So just consider the y value. That's the thing. Or you can use the steps which we did, you will get the same answer. It's just that you have to put it in the formula. This you can directly solve because it's easy. Otherwise, you can do what we just now followed. M is 0 over here, 0x plus 7. That's it. And then you can use it. So this is the thing. Over here parallel, so the slope is same. Please do solve it by yourself. And then we have another type of problem. Here, you need to find the x or y that satisfies the given condition. You have been given some points. They have told we need to graph this line. The line contains 4 comma minus 2 and unknown value x comma minus 6. This is perpendicular to this particular line. So this is the given line. Now they have told there is 2 points. Where is minus 2 and minus 9? Somewhere over here. And we have 3 and minus 4 somewhere over here. So this is one line. We have to draw a line perpendicular to this. It will be something like this, right? But they have given the points 4 and minus 2. 4 and minus 2 somewhere over here. This would be, no, it will be something like this. Now this is the equation. We need to accurately find it. But how do you find this x value? Graphing is later on. First, let's find this x value. Now, the most easy way is find the slope for the given line. This is given line, right? Find the slope, m. Once you find the m, then you know this slope, say imagine it's 2. When you multiply this one, unknown value, it must be equal to -1. So we can find the slope for this line and then we can easily find x. Let us see this now. All you need to do is, this is the given. Note what is given. Given line is over here. x1, y1, -2, -9, x2, y2, 3 and -4. Then the points of the perpendicular line which we have to solve, x1, y1, x2, y2. But remember, x2 is unknown, so it is x. Okay, this is it. Now that's why we write it x. Now next one is find the slope of the given line. This is given, right? Use the slope formula, m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And then you can easily find the slope. Substitute. y2 is -4 minus of -9 divided by 3 minus of -2. Put it in the calculator, you'll get it. 5 by 5, it's 1. Now find the slope of the perpendicular line. How do you find this? All you need to do is, given slope over here, given line slope is 1. So when you multiply this with the perpendicular line slope, it must be -1. 1 times m equals -1. The answer for the perpendicular line is -1. So now we know this is the slope. Okay. So we can use the slope formula again to find the x value. How? Because we found the slope of this line. See, given line, we found the slope. And then from that, we know because this and this are perpendicular, we can find the slope of the other line. And now what do we do is we just substitute over here. Substitute these points and the slope is known. M value is known, isn't it? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Substitute m value as -1, which we just now found over here. Substitute in the slope formula and now put the y2 is -6, -2. This is unknown x and -4. And now simplify and solve. You can directly solve it in calculator over here by putting -1 equals, open the fraction symbol, -6, open the brackets, minus brackets, -2, close the bracket, and here we have x, that is alpha, and this symbol, close the bracket, -4. Shift and solve will give you the answer. Don't press directly equal to, shift and solve, and it'll take few minutes. No, sorry, few seconds, and the answer is 8. Now, if you simplify this anyways, you'll get the same answer, x minus 4. This goes to the other side. This will be -4 over here, x minus 4 to the other side. Multiply -1 inside, distributive property, -x plus 4. And now, take this x to the other side, bring -4 to the other side. The answer of x is over here. This much is done. Now all you need to do is graph. How would you graph? X value you found out. So if that is the only answer, fine, that's over. But now you know the 2 points. That is 4 and -2. So 4 and -2 is over here, 1 point. And then you know 8 and -6. Just 2 points are enough. Draw the straight line from there. So how do you check? Once you find the 2 points, see the graph which includes both the points. Only one graph will include both the points, others will not include. That is your answer. So this is it. So the same thing over here, it's mentioned. Please do try the other problems. Look at this problem by yourself, solve it by yourself, and then check the answer over here. Y is unknown. Parallel is very easy. Why? Because the slope is same. And now this is the line. Same way, try the other problems by yourself and then check for the answers. So in the next video, we will deal with the topic 14. Please stay tuned. Now we move on to the 14th topic, that is to find the distance between parallel lines. So over here, they're asking only parallel lines, but you need to use the concept of perpendicular lines and then find the distance. It is not that easy. You need to focus a lot. You need to understand what needs to be taken, what has to be considered, and all that. Now, anyways, let's see. This figure won't be given. This is just for understanding purpose. This is the question only. Now, find the distance between parallel lines R and T with equations y equals -3x minus 5 and y equals -3x plus 6. what do we do over here? So we can see these are parallel lines. And what is the difference between these two parallel lines? Since it's minus slope, they are downwards. The only difference is if you draw a straight axis, one is at plus 6, the y-intercept is at 6, and the other line is at minus 5. That's the only difference. How do we find the distance? Now, whenever they tell distance, it's not any distance, it's the shortest distance or the perpendicular distance. Always the perpendicular distance between the two lines would be the shortest distance. Now, imagine this is uh, place A and this is place B. The roads to go over here, wait, let me just change this over here, okay? The roads to go over here will be something like this, and the shortest one would always be the perpendicular, the straight line towards both of them. So this would be the shortest distance. So we aim for the shortest distance, take perpendicular line between them. Now how do we do that is, first find the equation for the perpendicular line, because the shortest distance between these two would be the perpendicular line, right? So now we need a perpendicular line. So we need a perpendicular line. We can tell anything, say q over here. Find the distance. In order to find the distance between these, now you need to use the equation of any one of the line and then find the perpendicular. It's up to you to choose. So over here, first of all, the slope is minus 3 in both the cases. What will be the slope of a perpendicular line? Now we are not choosing the line. Let's just choose the slope, because slope is same for both perpendicular lines. Assume minus, we do not know. This is not assumed, sorry, this is given as minus 3. Let's assume the slope of the perpendicular line as m2 and let's find it. We know when we multiply it with minus 3, it must be minus 1. So all we do is take this to the other side and negative negative cancels off. You will get 1 by 3. Now this m2 is the slope of the perpendicular line. Okay, if this is minus 3, over here the perpendicular line will be having slope of 1 by 3. Now, consider the equation of any one line and use the coordinate. This is important because if you're using this line, you can't use another line as well. So basically, imagine this is a parallel line. You're doing a perpendicular line. So if you use this equation, you will start this perpendicular line from here. And then you need to use the other equation and find the other point. Okay, we will see that now. So we have considered the first equation, y equals minus 3x minus 5. Now assume the point at x equals 0. What is the y value? You need to just assume this, okay, x as 0. You can take x as 1. You can take x as 2. But 0 is the easiest of all, right? So we just take x as 0. When you take x as 0, everything goes off. What is the y value? Minus 5. Now, this would be the point to find the intercept. Use this point. Now, what does intercept mean? The y-intercept touching the x-axis, y-axis, right? Just assume, say now over here, whenever x is 0, what is the y value? Y value is the y-intercept. Whenever x is 0, the y value would be its y-intercept. So this is the intercept point, right? So for this equation, we just take x as 0 and find this coordinate points. That now substitute this and now we can find the b value. B value. Now b value would be minus 5 itself. Why? Because this itself is the y-intercept whenever you take x is equal to 0. But technically this is the method to solve. We have done this already to solve the y-intercept, so we can use this formula. Otherwise, if you understand this thoroughly, this is the x-axis. What is x? This is the x-axis, y-axis. When x is 0, you get the y-intercept. Now, in this case, it was minus 5. That's it. Next, what do? We now use this intercept and then write the equation for the perpendicular line. Now we are using this b value and writing the equation for the perpendicular line. Till now we used this equation found its intercept. Otherwise you can just see this is the y-intercept. So directly we can use it. But anyways, technicality purpose. Now here y equals 1 by 3x minus 5. This is the equation of the perpendicular line from this uh, parallel line. From this parallel line, we have erected it. Then what next? Since you have already used this, don't use this anymore. What you need to do is just use the other equation basically. Use the other equation, this one, and use the perpendicular line. We just now found a perpendicular line, right? That was over, anyways, we have over here. Perpendicular slope 1 by 3. Use this line and find the point of intersection. You need to solve these. You can subtract both the equations, solve them, and you will find x and y value. But the easiest method of all is using the standard form and solving it in calculator. So what do we do? Over here, remember the standard form for linear equation is ax plus by equals c. So get this in terms of ax plus by equals c. Now, x and y must be together. So minus 3x, take it to the other side. It's going to be 3x plus 1y equals 6. Same way, rearrange this. Minus 1 by 3x plus y equals minus 5. Now you can easily put them in the calculator by mode, phi, and this is the equation for linear. Ax plus by equals c, that is 1. Now put in the coefficients 3, 1, 6. And lastly over here, 1 divided by 3, minus 1 by 3, 1 and minus 5. What's the answer? 3.3 and negative 3.9. So x and y value, the point of intersection. So basically, the points of intersection over here we found out. Over here, sorry, let me just go back over here. One was this one over here, the intercept, because we started from there. So the perpendicular line was started from there, that is 0 comma minus 5, and now we find the perpendicular lines intersecting point with the other equation as well. This one is 3.3 comma minus 3.9. So that is why we don't use this line again, because we already found we started the intersecting point. We are taking the perpendicular line from this particular point, right? We can take anywhere. You can take it as 1. Over here also we can take. Then we will get this point. It's just that equation changes a little bit, but it's fine. You can. But the easiest of all is 0, because it'll be easy, and then we choose that point, and then we know the equation for the line. Parallel line we already is given, both the parallel line, we know this perpendicular, and then we find where it is touching over here. So now the distance between these 2 points is what we need to find. Now we have both the point. See, these are the 2 points. Find the distance using distance formula, that is square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Now when you find the distance, just substitute, put it in the calculator, you will get the answer. That is the distance. I know it is very lengthy, but this is the method. That's it. That's how you solve all this. See, you will be given two equations. All you need to do is solve it, It's very straightforward. Sorry. Solve it and then check for the answers. Don't directly do it. It's You need to practice more in this. Now remember, there are two equations, right? Let me just go back. There are two equations. You will consider one equation. Imagine this is already considered. You start from here and then you find the perpendicular line. So this initial point will be the base. Okay, that is already an intersecting point with the perpendicular line. Then don't use the same line because you already found this. You need to find the other intersecting point. So now we get two intersecting point between the perpendicular line, at the ends of the perpendicular line. That would be the shortest distance, the perpendicular distance. That therefore we just find the distance between those 2 points, the intersecting point. Use the distance formula and you will get it. Please do practice more problems. If you have not understood, pause the video, go back again, watch this again, and be thorough with it. And then please try these by yourselves and then check for the answers over here. So that's the end of the topic 14. In the next video, we will go to the topic number 15. I'll just put this so you can pause it and check the answers. Your options generally will be in terms of 3 radical 2 or 3 root 2, or sometimes it might be like this. So make sure you check which is the correct option and then select it. The next topic is the 15th topic. It is about translation. Translation is one of the easiest of all lessons among reflection, symmetry, rotations. Translation is very easy. Why? Because the original image is always preserved. It is very easy to figure out translation because if the original image is tampered, then there's no translation. It must be same and it will be equally moved. The translation is same at all the points. What I mean is, if this is a translation, then the movement at j to the new point j is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the x-axis and 1, 2, 3 in the y-axis. It must be same over here with k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. That will be the same. So yes, this is translation. Now we here, what is the translation vector? First of all, yes, this is a translation. This image is translated to j dash, k dash, and l dash. But what is the translation vector? That is given as x comma y. We saw 5x units and 3y units. So the first answer is the correct answer. This is it. Now we will see some more problems. Over here, they have told the image of each point after given translation vector. So now this is the given point. F equals minus 3 comma 1. If this is the x-axis, it will be somewhere over here. This is the point. Now this is the translated point. 5 comma minus 3. Now 5 comma minus 3 will be okay, this is the translation vector given. So where will be the reflected translated point? So it is being moved 5 units to the right. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 down. It'll be over here. It basically, it's very, very simple. All you need to do is the first term is there, right? Minus 3, add 5, and for the second term subtract 1. The translation vector is just added to x and y coordinate respectively. So the answer over here would be 2 comma 0. That is the answer. That's it. That would be the reflected point. Now same thing over here. Subtract 2 from 4. This first with first, x with x, y with y. So 4 minus 2 is 2, and minus 2 minus 5, because when you add this is going to be subtraction, minus 7. 2 minus 7. Same way over here, we can do it by yourself. All these are very simple. Let's just go through this. The image of A minus 3 comma minus 5 under translation is A dash 6 comma minus 1. Find the image of B 3 comma 2 minus 2 under the same translation. So what they have told is this point A, which is at 3 minus 3 and minus 5 somewhere over here, is being translated to 6 and minus 1 over here. So if there was a point at B which is 3 comma minus 2 somewhere over here, where would that be translated? It'll be somewhere over here, right? But we need in proper details, proper values. So how do you do is first find the translation vector. Find how is it translated. This minus this will give you the translation vector. That is A dash translated minus the original gives you the translation vector. So what that means is 6 minus of minus 3 and minus 1 minus of minus 5. This is what we need to do and find. Now you'll get 9 over here, and then over here you will get my plus 4. So my minus minus becomes plus. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 9 comma 4 is the translation vector. The answer is not over. You need to add the translation vector over here. What did I do? I just found the translation vector, because translation vector is always added to the original image, right? And then we get a b dash or a dash. Now we need to find translation. So subtract the original image, sorry, translated image with the original. You will get translation vector. Okay. Once you get the translation vector, 9 comma 4, add it over here. It'll be 12 comma 2. That is the answer. It'll be 12 comma 2. So this is how we do it. Same way, last one over here, we need to just construct a okay, over here what they have asked is whether this is translated or no. See, like we have done this previous one, isn't it? But over here there was a graph given, but here there are points given. So what it means is they are telling whether these both are reflected or no. Let's see how do we see it. Now here the first one is my reflected -1 and -2, isn't it? How do you find the translation vector? Subtract over here. Subtract a dash minus a. That means a1 minus 1 and -2 minus 2. What is the answer? It is 0. Sorry, it will be -2 and -4. So basically, this is the translation vector which is being added to all the original points. So if I add -2 over here, I'll get -1 and -4. Yes. Now, whether this is translation, add -2 to 0, you should have -2 and -4. Over here, it should have been +4 and -4. It's wrong. It's not translation. The image is not translation. Why? Because they are not moving along the translation vector. The all points are not moving along the same translation vector. They are moving in different directions. So no, all points are not moving in the same direction, or they are in the same direction. So it is not a translation. That's it. So that is basically how we solve the topic number 15. Just remember the translation vector. If it's not given, solve it by subtracting the original point from the translated point. You'll get the translation vector, and then just check for the answer.
We will deal with reflections in the topic number 16. Reflections, as you might have already remembered, is something reflecting. Say you stand in front of a mirror, you can see yourself in the mirror. Now, if I have, say, an object, okay, my drawing skills are very bad, but anyways, if this has to be reflected, a stick figure along this line, then the same thing. Now, imagine this is, say, from here to here on this line is 5 meters apart. You need to draw that particular hand or the line at 5 meters apart, and the same distance, okay, it's not at all reflection, it's much different, but I hope you're getting the concept. It'll be the same distance apart. If this leg is, say, 7 meters apart, this is 7 meters, which will never be true because from the hand to the leg there won't be a 2 meter difference. But just for your understanding, say whatever is the dimension, whatever from this line is towards the left, the distance is the same thing to the right. That is basically reflection. Simple understanding. Now here, you might have already learned about reflection along axes, say x-axis, y-axis. But now it is not about axis, it's about particular lines. Let's look at this problem. Consider the quadrilateral RSTV where the coordinates are given. You need to reflect it, okay, the reflection along the line y equals -1. How would you do it? First, you need to draw this particular coordinate. 2 comma 1, r is 2 comma 1, s is 2 comma 4, 5 comma 4, v is, as you can see, all this is plotted. Then what you need to do is see the line along where the line is y equals -1. You should draw a line over there, and the reflected figure must be the same distance from this line. Now you can count from this line to r. It's 1, 2, 2 units apart. So it should be 1, 2 somewhere over here. So if you draw the reflected figure, it'll be written as r dash. It's 2 units. Same thing with v, t, and s. You need to have the same distance apart, and you can figure out the coordinates. Since this is in the part 2, which is in your multiple choice question, you can directly find it out easily. How? Look at these coordinates and see what are the plots: R, S, T, and V. First, you need to see which is the correct plots of R, S, V, T. Just check them. Okay, this is 2, comma 1. Yes, this is accurate. Then you need to measure the distance from here and find out which is the reflected image. Now, what if in your question they don't give this because it's written over here? They have given only the answer. It's fine. Look into one of the figure, the coordinates, and you need to plot this at 2, this, and this, RSTV. And then count the distance over here, 2, right? So the x-axis won't change. See, x-axis will be the same. Only the y-axis, it was 1. From 1, 0, -1, it's 2 units. So from -1, it should be 2 units down in the opposite direction because it is being reflected along this axis, y-axis, sorry, along the x-axis, but y equals -1 line. So this is the thing. Okay, so you must understand here these points matters from year to year down, from year to year. Whereas if it was x equals 6, then it would be, and imagine this was a figure, it would have been reflected over here. So that is the thing. So this is it. You can easily figure out from the given, you can understand which is the reflected exactly. So that's the thing. Now, similarly, you can do one more, but this one is very easy. You should look into the question. If they ask you reflection along y equals x, then, and over here they have not given the coordinates, they have given the graph itself. You must remember the formula for reflection along y equals x is very simple. You swap the coordinates. That's it. Now, see what is the coordinates for A? A is -2 and 1. Okay. B is 1 and 8. So 1 and 8. Same way, C is 1 and 4. And similarly, you can plot the others. Now here, this is the X and this is the Y. You need to write Y first. So it'll be 1 and -2. That's the only difference. So basically what you're doing, you're just swapping the coordinates. Look away, this is the figure, but look at the coordinates. Here 1 is first and -2. 8, 1. 4, 1. Here it is 4, 4, 2, 2. It's same. Doesn't matter. So because x and y are the same. So this is it. You reflect along y equals x along this line. Make sure you swap the coordinates. This is the easiest of all if it's y equals x line. It's a 45-degree line like this, slanted line, and it will reflect everything just by changing the coordinates. You can always use this formula. Now, here are some problems. You need to try it by yourself. X is equal to y. It's very, very simple. What I would do is write the coordinates 1, 2, 3, -3, comma 2. This is 0, comma 1. And lastly, we have -2, comma 1, 2, 3, -3. So the coordinates of A dash would be 2, comma -3. B dash would be 1 comma 0, and lastly we have C dash to be -3 comma -2. So this is it, -3 comma -2, because it's along, okay, sorry, uh, my writings. So this is it, this is the answers. You can see that they are the same answers. Why it is so simple? Because you can easily find the coordinates of A, B, C, and then you can easily write the reflection along y-axis is just the change of x and y. That's it. Same way you can try the others. This one over here, x is -1. So you should draw a straight line over here at -1 and then solve it up. You can see over here, this is the original image, -1 line, and then reflection 1, 2 units, 2 units that side, 1 unit over here. Very, very simple. This is the final answer. You just need to look at the question and the options. You can easily eliminate the other options. Make sure you understand x equals -1 means where is x -1? This is the x-axis. -1 is here. Draw a straight line over there. That is it. Similarly, please do try the others and then write the coordinates over here. That's it. Same thing. This is simple. Y equals z, y equals x, sorry. It'll just be along the line, just swapping the coordinates. Now look over here. -2 and 3, right? Are, it'll become 3 comma -2. You can see 3 is over here and -2. That's the point. Reflection.
It's very easy when this line is given. Along the line y equals x. So basically y equals x, so you're swapping x and y. Here y line, we have done similar problem like that. Over here, this is the line of reflection. So please do try them by yourselves and then do it. Now here they have given a coordinate. We had seen the first problem, right? You have to plot this. Now imagine this is the xy axis, -7, 1 somewhere over here, and you're reflecting along the line y equals 3. That means over here, 2 units difference, isn't it? This is 1, this is 3, so there is 2 units difference. What is going to happen when you're reflecting along this line? This will stay, x value will stay over here, it'll be somewhere over here. So how much is the unit difference? 1 2, so it'll be 2 units up, that'll be 5, so it'll be -7 comma 5. That's it. So that is the answer. Same thing over here. Q is at 6 and -4. Imagine 6 and -4 is over here, and along x equals 2. So how much is the difference over here? You need to look into the difference. This is positive 2. Okay. Yeah, 6. This is 6. So 4 units till 6, right? 6. This is 6. There is 4 units. So go back by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be at -2. What will be at -2? The x value changes. See, it is at -2. Y value will remain the same. So it is -2, comma. It is down, so it's -4. So that is it. So it's very, very simple to solve these. Just make sure you understand the graph, or you can easily look into the options and you can easily solve. One last thing, understand what is the line. Y equals 3 means, now if this is X line, this is Y line, this is Y equals 3 line. Now you must understand one thing. You're dealing with Y equals 3 line, isn't it? So the X value does not change. See, the X value will always remain same, only the Y value differs. When you're dealing with X is equal to 2 lines, see over here, X equals 2. Now, what does not change? If X, the other thing doesn't change. Y value is remaining same, only the X changes because you're dealing with X equals 2 line. Whereas over here, Y equals 3 lines, so the Y value changes, not the X. So that's it. That's the end of this topic. So in the next topic, we will deal with the topic number 17. 17th topic is about exterior angle theorem. What does this exterior angle theorem mean? You can understand exterior means something that's outside. It has to do something with angle, and it's a law. Let's see what it means. Now imagine this is a triangle. What is outside of a triangle? We know when two lines are parallel and there's a transversal, this is inside, interior, and this was exterior, outside ones, okay, which I'm drawing in two times, two lines, okay. Those are exteriors. Inside is interior. Over here, if you're talking about angles, all these are interior angle of a triangle. What will be outside is, see over here, for example, this one. Now, this outside angle as a relationship, the derivation is pretty simple. It says that because a straight line is supplementary, over here, this would be opposite of whatever the angle is there. Like 180 minus this would give you that. And a triangle is of 180 degrees. So when you add all, it must be 180 degree. And that's why these both are equal to the exterior angle. That is like basically the derivation and everything. You do not need to worry about that. I will tell you what you must remember. Whenever you see a triangle and an extended line, the outside angle, exterior angle, is basically given by the sum. It's basically what's the theorem saying. It's just that. But look at the triangle. Now, why I'm saying this is, you need to look at the triangle and see the opposite two angles, not any two angles. This is the main important thing. Now, if I have an exterior angle over here, then I need to know 61. And what is this? That one. If I have x, it'll be 61 plus x. So this is very crucial. It is opposite, the far ends, not the supplement. Now 130 is supplement to this. If this is given, so it's 50 over here. Don't use this, that will be an error. No, you need to use the far ends. Now let's see problems on this. Find the measure of DAB, that is DAB, this angle in the front face of the building. Okay. Now, they have given angles in terms of x. Look at this. B is given, C is given, and this is also given. But it's in terms of x. They want an angle. All you need to do is understand the exterior angle theorem. That would mean it is 12x plus 7 will be equal to sum of these both, that is 6x minus 4 plus 65 degrees. Now solve it up. You can use your calculator directly, otherwise you can just take the x to the other side and solve it. It's very simple. You can directly get the answer. So 12 alpha x plus 7 equals, see the exterior, okay, that was wrong. The exterior angle equals to the sum of the opposite interior angles. Okay, that is very important. Now 6x minus 4 plus 65. Shift and solve, you'll get the answer to be 9. That's the final answer. That's it. No, oh, sorry. That is the x value. I missed. That is not the answer. I'm sure this will be there as one of the option. No, that is not the correct answer. You need to substitute this 9 instead of x over here. 12 into 9 plus 7. This will be your final answer. It's 115 degrees. So this exterior angle DAB on the front face of this building is 115 degrees. Similarly, you can easily solve them up. Now they have asked you measure of ABC. How do you solve it? You know this angle, and over here it's in terms of x. Very simple. I'll directly solve it in calculator. 145, this exterior angle will be equal to, that is alpha this, 95 plus 2 and x, alpha x. Shift and solve, the answer is 25 over here. Oh, sorry, my bad. Again, I did the same mistake. I'm glad I did this mistake. You guys, please don't repeat this in exam. I did the same mistake 2 times. I found the value of x and I told that is the answer. No, that is not the answer. They have asked you the measure of ABC. So 25 times 2 is this angle. That is 50 degrees. This is it. Now then, over here as well, you can simply solve this. 58 would 58 would be equal to x plus x, that is 2x. Now the angle, the value of x is 29, but what do they want? Measure of f, measure of angle f, and that is the same thing because it's only x, it's 29. Similarly, please do solve the others. Now over here you can see the far ends of the exterior angles are given. This one, angle 1 will be equal to angle 2 plus angle 3, and simply solve it, you will get the answer. Same thing over here. You can easily solve it. These are the exterior, this is the exterior angle and these are the far end angles. 116 will be equal to 1 plus 2. Put it in the calculator, you can easily solve for it. So that will be the answer. Please solve it by yourself and then check for the answers. That is the end of topic 17. Topic number 18 is same as the topic number 7. You might have remembered these problems by now. It is about congruency. You need to write the congruency statement. We have done the same problems, in fact, from the same page number, but more problems in the topic number 7. I'll put the link to the topic number 7 in the description because it is more detailed explanation. Please go through it. Now I'll just recall this again. In fact, you need to pause the video now and answer these by yourselves and then check for the explanation. Look over here, A, B, C, B, C, D. Look at these triangles. You can see these lines. If one line and one line, they would mean they're same, they're equal. If it's two lines like this and this is equal. So now all we need to do is write the congruency statement. Now you can use any angle as the reference, a triangle as the reference. I will use this as the reference. Now A, next would be B and C. Now this triangle I've used reference is congruent to what? I can't just write BCD or DCB or BDC. I need to know exactly.
So let me write it again. That's a very bad ABC. So triangle ABC is congruent to what exactly? A has one angle. Which angle is equal to A? If you see over here, it is D. So let's write D first because A was first. And which is having two sides? In this triangle, it was B, but in this, it is C, D, C, and lastly, we have B. If you find out two, then the last one is the same one. The remaining one, sorry. So this is the congruency angle. Why? Because A is equal to D, B is equal to C, C is equal to B. And then if you write this congruency statement, there's a shortcut for the lines. Basically, the line AB will be equal to DC or CD. Let's see, AB, CD or DC. It's the same thing. What about BC? The line BC will be equal to CB. Let's see. BC, CB, yes, they are same. And then the last 2 points, AC will be DB. AC, DB or BD. Yes, that is the thing. So just write the congruent statement directly at the beginning. What we have written over here is the same thing, and then figure out the remaining. Same thing over here. Let's see, this is only with lines, no angles, but you can see this is equal to this. So it's very, you can understand that one. Then what about the other things? These two are parallel lines, LK and JM. They have shown, sorry, KJ and LJ are parallel. These are equal and parallel. Okay, both the sides are equal and parallel. So they have already given it. Whenever you have parallel lines, you must know alternate interior angles are congruent. So K over here is equal to M. So let's write the congruency statement. I'll write just over here randomly the first triangle, K, M, and J. You can write it any way, but look at the options, okay? Sometimes if I can write this as ACB as well. The problem is option will be written as ABC. All you need to do is your answer will be correct. If it is ACB, then it will be DBC. Okay, these will be correct. You just need to rearrange B and C. If I do swapping between B and C, then I have to do swapping over here with C and B. That's it. So you can easily get it right. Now over here, triangle KJM. Anything would be fine. I'll just write KJM. Now then, here I know J will be congruent to what? I know J will be L, but what is K congruent to? If this is K, it'll be M over here. So triangle M. Then I have J, which is congruent to L because it's right angle. And then lastly, you can write M will be equal to K. So MLK. But now over here, it is LMK. Why? It's not wrong. What we did is not wrong. It's just that they have written JKM first. Now they write it in the alphabetical order. So JKM. And over here, the other one is corresponding to that. So what do I do over here is the option is not there. So I will just swap this J and K and check. J and K will be swapped. Then over here also you need to swap L and M. K will remain as it is because M was same. Yes, this is the correct answer. You can even check the angles and all that and you can easily figure it out. So this is it. And again, about the triangle, the placement and everything was done in the video number 7. So please click on the description and just recall it if you want. Otherwise, this whatever you just know how to write it is more than enough. Same way over here. A X, Y, and Z. X is starting with A, 60 and 60, it's B and C. If its degrees are given in terms of numbers, it's very easy. Same way, please do try this, okay, by yourself and then check for the answers. Now over here, this is a polygon. It is not just 3 or 4 sides, it's 5 sides over here. Please be vigilant. A would be F, and where we go, B, 108. Where is 108? It's J. C is 111, I is 111, D is 105, H is 105, E is 107 and 107. G. That's it. So that's how we write it. And if they ask you for which is congruent, you should just see them and tell it. And now, for example, all these sides are congruent to each other, but you don't write it directly. You need to write AB will be congruent to FJ, BC to JI, and so on, the corresponding parts. So that is the end of the topic 8, only 1 to 5.
So in the next video, we will move on to the topic 19. The 19th topic is on ASA postulate. We have done proving paragraph proofs, flow proofs already in part 1. This is similar to it, where we use either flow proof, paragraph proof, statement reason, depends on what has been asked, and then we write it out. So this is not in writing. Maybe one of the step over here they might ask you in the exam. So that's what they might do. Now here let us look. Flow proof. Flow proof means a flow chart. They have given you many statements. They have told JKMK is congruent. Angle NL is congruent. You need to prove these triangles are congruent. This is using AAS. That means you have one angle already, one side. You need to know one more angle. Look over here. This is vertical angle, isn't it? JKN and LKM. So we just tell that. So given, let's write given. JN and L is given to be congruent. JK and MK. And then we write JKN and MKL is over here, or LKM. It's the same thing, are congruent because they are vertical angles. Vertical angles always congruent. Now we have angle line ASA or AAS postulate. So this is it. Two angles and a side. Let's look over here. Paragraph proof. We are writing paragraphs. They have told DA is parallel to FG. Now this is important when parallel things are given. You need to keep in mind when parallel stuff is given, interior angles happen. Now this is a common side. This angle is equivalent to the other alternate interior angle. These are alternate interior angles. So let's see what is given. This is parallel. Okay, good. E and G is congruent. We need to prove them congruent, the triangles. Now, this, whatever is given, write it as it is. By alternate interior angles theorem, you can tell DFG. See, this line is considered this angle. Even you can consider the other one. It's the same thing. Not to worry. DFG and FDE are congruent to each other. And this side is obviously congruent because it's the same side. It's a reflexive property of congruency. So we have angle, angle, side. And now be careful. In the last video, we saw how to write the congruent statements. Now, if you're considering D, then you need to start with over here F. So D over here, that means F in the other side. D, F, and it'll be D. And last one, G and E are congruent, G and E. So that is how we write the congruent statement. Triangle and triangle, these are congruent. So see which are equal to each other and then write the congruent statement. That's it. Now here they have written two column proof and it's the same thing, but okay, there is midpoint over here. Let me do this. They have told V is the midpoint over here. You can see the V is midpoint of YW. That means this side and this side are equal. If this is total 10 YW, then Y and V will be phi and V and W will be phi. They'll be equally divided. That's from the midpoint theorem. Now let's see what is given. They have told U and Y is parallel to X and W. That means we can use alternate interior angles. So from midpoint theorem, this is the side is, say, this is midpoint. So we can use midpoint theorem and we can tell these are congruent. Now tell the angles. This angle U is congruent to X and Y is congruent to W. Why? Because of alternate interior angle theorem. So you can tell in this, it's written in detail because you have to write V, Y, and U will be congruent to VWX. The thing is, it's not written as I'm telling you, it might be written the other way, but the main thing is the concept is the same thing. So you can either write UYV or VYU. You can write this first is the same thing until and unless you write it properly. So that's the thing. So this is it. And then we have angle, angle and side. So AAS postulate proven. Same way, please do try this by yourself and then look for the answers. Don't directly jump to the answer. See it, solve it, and then check the answers. It's the very same thing, AAS postulate. And the 16th problem over here is to construct using
straight edge and compass. Now, straight edge is like a scale, but the measurement won't be given. Basically, over here, the concept is you can't just measure this and draw it, or you can't use a protractor. You need to use compass and straight edge. So the method is, say exactly this must be there. This one line is missing, but anyways, we will see this now. How do you do is first you can't measure this, so you need to draw a straight line over here. Draw a straight line, and then keep the compass over here and measure this distance of r. And same thing you do over here and draw an arc over here. So this will be the exact distance. Okay, this will be the base. The first side is very simple, but constructing the other side, it is different. Now we have done side. S is done. Side is done. Just one side. Now we have to use the angles to construct the other two sides. How do we do that? The method is, see, it differs in if you're using a protractor or if you're using SSS postulate or AAS postulate. It differs. Okay, so now over here, since it's two angles and one side, you have to follow this method. Keep the compass over here and take a random measurement, draw an arc like this. So keep the protractor over here and draw an arc, full arc. Remember, the arc must be full. Then what do? After this, remove the protractor, keep it over here, measure this distance and draw an arc like this. So now that at that particular distance, you need to keep this and draw over here. And now you will find this particular angle. This angle is formed. Take a straight edge and draw the line like this, which passes through the center of the intersection of those two arcs. The two arcs are formed, right? You must draw a straight line over there. And this is the angle. Same thing will be continued in the other side. Keep the compass here, take a measurement, draw an arc like this. So this is done. And then you need to keep the compass and measure this one over here. Keep the compass, measure. And then extend the line from this, and that triangle is formed. So these two are from A and A angles. See, these angles are used, whereas over here it was just side. This is how you solve it without protractor. If it's protractor, very simple. Just measure and you can measure the angle and do it. Here we use compass and a straight edge. Even the measurement won't be given in a straight edge, or even if it's given, this is the method you follow. But I'm not sure how they'll ask you this question in the part 2 because it's all in MCQs. Maybe the method or the step might be asked. So it's good to know. I hope this is clear. So that's the end of this topic 90. The last topic in part 2, the 20th topic. The part 3 is going to be writing. This will be the last one in which you will have 4 options, MCQs. And this is one of the easiest topic. I'll solve it directly because it's about equilateral triangles. Now, what does equilateral triangle mean? As the name says, it's equal in lateral is side. Lateral means sides, equal in sides. And also it will be equal in angles because it's a triangle. If sides are equal, the angles will also be equal. Now, equilateral are very easy because all the sides will have how much degrees? It will be 60 degrees. If one side of a triangle is 60, remember the other sides will be 60, provided they're equilateral because the sides will be same, and that's the thing. Because it's equilateral, right? You don't even need to worry about this. You know this 3x means it's 60. So what is x? X will be 20. So this is how we can solve it. But how exactly would you solve? So they have mentioned this is 60 and they have told the two sides are, the legs over here are congruent. That means this angle and this angle must and should be equal. Doesn't matter what, these two angles will be equal. So one is 60, all are 60. Why? Because 60, 60, 60 makes 180 degrees. But they want the value of x over here. If it's an equilateral triangle, as the name suggests, all the sides are equal. So all you need to do is 3x plus 8 equals 4x minus 4. This is a 3x plus 8 equals 4x minus 4. And now you need to press shift and solve. What is the answer? 12. So the answer over here is 12. That's it.
Now, what about B? Here, since the two sides are equal, that means these two angles over here, the base angles, will be equal. And the remaining angle must be 60 degrees. So there's no doubt, equilateral, all the angles are equal. And what about the side AC? Two sides, all the angles are equal. Sides will also be equal. So that is 3. Now what about this over here? They have told all the sides are equal, so it's equilateral. You don't need to do this is all equal. No. You know the angle will directly be equal to 60 degrees. So x will be equal to, divide both the sides by 6, it'll be 10. So the answer is 10 over here. So over here we got 60 degrees and 3 meters. Here it is 10. Solve these by yourselves. They are very simple. Angle will be same because these two sides are equal. The angles over here at the base will be equal. It will be 60 and 60, and these sides all will be 777. Here it's 3x. So what is the value of x? We had done this. It'll be 20. It'll be 60 divided by 3, 20. Over here, it's all angles are same, equilateral. So all you need to do is these both sides will be equated. 4x equals 40, x is equal to 10. So that would be the answer. That's it. So these are very simple and very straightforward. Don't forget them to do it. Easily you can solve them in calculator as you saw. You don't even need to write anything, and then choose the correct answer. Now one more thing, just be careful. If they ask the x, only the x degrees, but what if they ask the angle f? Then it would have been 60, but it's obvious because all the angles are 60. Just be careful with that. So that's the end of the part 2 basically. In the next video onwards, we will go to the part 3, and part 3 is all in writing. So please stay tuned. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to it. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much and wish you all the best and happy learning. Welcome back to the part 3, the last part, the writing part. There are 3 questions in this, but all of them carry total of 20 marks. And there are 2 more bonus questions in writing, which is 5 marks each. So they carry 10 marks. Total writing is of 30 marks. Please do practice them by writing. Don't just look into the videos. Understand and then try solving problems by yourselves. That is how you will learn and remember for your exam. Now we will continue, but before I continue, I would like to request you all, if you find this channel useful, if you're watching my videos, please do subscribe to it. And I want to thank all those who have subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. Do subscribe, like, and share it among your friends. Now we will move to the 21st topic. Write the specified type of proof. 2-column proof given NP. See over here, they have given some stuff, that is NP is equal to PM. NP and PL are congruent. Okay, this is, sorry, not congruent, perpendicular. It's 90 degree. If it's perpendicular, this is the sign, it's 90 degree. We need to prove these congruent. And look over here, they have mentioned SAS postulate. That means side, angle, side. Looking at this figure, I can easily tell that NP and PM are congruent. These two right angles are obviously congruent, and PL is congruent because of reflexive property. But we need to write in proper way. So first, let's write this statement. NP equals PM, and this given, all we do is given statement. This PL and NP are perpendicular. That means these angles are 90 degrees. Okay. From this NP equals PM, that means the line are congruent to each other. If this is phi, this is phi. That's what it means, equal to. That means these lines are congruent as well. Okay, that's the definition of congruency. Equal means the lines will be congruent. Then we have this angles, right? Since it's told perpendicular, then they are right angles. So here MPL and NPL are right angles. So perpendicular lines form right angles, and they are congruent. If both are right angles, obviously they'll be congruent, isn't it? 90 degree, 90 degree. Then what else? PL is the same line for both the triangles. It's from the reflexive property. So now we have the side. this angle and side. So from SAS postulate, we can prove that the triangle NPL will be congruent. If you start from N, remember you must start from M over here, NPL. That's the answer. But it must be written in detail. The figure will tell you everything. So make sure first start with the given and then write the remaining parts. Look at the figure, write them as it is. If you're getting confused, just write NP and PM. Write it over there, just as it is, and make sure you put the angles and solve it up. So that's it. Make sure you mention this in the bracket, or you can do a column, say like this, two columns. Statement and reason, it's up to you. You can just write statement, reason, and then first, what is the reason? Say NP is congruent to NP. It's given. So that's the thing. Just whatever it is, you can do it. Similarly, now we have one more problem over here, two column proof. So statements and reasons. They have given a lot of things. Let's write it. AB equals CD. They have told it's equal. Then they have also told AB is parallel to CD. Okay. So now, if this is the thing, if it's parallel, always remember, we have done this before in part 2 as well. Whenever there is parallel stuff, the alternate interior angle theorem comes in picture. You can see BAD and CDA are congruent. Why? Because these are parallel, so these are interior angles. That's it. Next, AD and AD is the same because it's a reflexive property. It's the same, right? They're reflexive property. And over here, they have mentioned AB and CD. It's given. They have told it's equal. So we can tell they are congruent because of the definition of congruent segments. So basically, you have S side, angle, and again another side. That's a SAS postulate. So please, may over here they have asked paragraph proof, but it's fine. You just write any one of it. Make sure you write it. That's the most important thing. Now over here it's the same thing, just that V is the midpoint of W and X. If that is the case, then these both are equal because from the midpoint theorem. That's it. And they have told even for this angle, sorry, this line and this line, it's the midpoint. That means this line is equal to these are all equal to each other. Okay. And then there's vertical angles, just that SAS. So you can see over here there is vertical angle theorem, midpoint theorem. That's more than enough to prove this side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and vertical angles prove that all this is a SAS postulate. Similarly, please do try these by yourselves. Most of the things are given over here. It's very simple. They have asked a flow chart, given, literally everything is given, and then just that over here, literally everything is given. See, PR is congruent to DE, PT is congruent to DF, and they have told R is congruent to E, and then T is congruent to F. And obviously all the angles will be equal then, because the third angle, if two angles are equal, the third angle must be equal. That's called third angles theorem. And then you have literally so many things, but you can tell SAS or all the see, the thing is, if all the angles are equal, that's not enough to make it congruent. It can make it similar. Length might differ, so two sides must be known, at least two sides. In this case, see, this side and this side is congruent. So whenever two sides are congruent, and then okay, there's one more thing. I understand why now it is important. It's SAS. Remember, the side. The angle must be in between. Look at this. This is not enough. Angle is outside. This angle must be congruent. So it's very important to write the statement. Otherwise, it's not SAS postulate. So that is very crucial. So what happens? These two angles are given. So you tell this angle is congruent. Then you get SAS postulate. And similarly over here as well, they have given a lot of stuff. Make a two-column proof. Here, see now one more thing. If they tell bisection, see BD is bisecting AC. Bisection means it is cutting into right. Over here you can see BD is bisecting, right? Now then that means it cuts into equal angles. Bisect. Now, if you have an angle over here, you bisect it, it makes into equal parts. Please remember that. So that is very important. Bisection will make equal angles. Over here, in this case, it's a straight line, so it will be right angles. And then you can look through this, see the statements, and look at the figure. It's very straightforward. Make sure you solve them by yourselves and then check for the answers because they're pretty easy. And that's basically it for the 21st topic. Remember, it's SAS postulate. You must have side over here, side, and angle in between the two sides. That's it. So in the next video, we will continue with the next topic, that is topic number 22. The 22nd topic is on lines. It's about parallel lines, perpendicular lines on neither based on the slopes. Now they have mentioned just example one, that is only this example, the first example which I'm doing. But then I will also do perpendicular or neither just as extra. It will be example 2 and 3 of the same lesson. So now let's look into the problem directly. Determine whether line AB and CD are parallel, perpendicular or neither for these particular coordinates. Okay, and then graph each line to verify your answer. It is very important for you to draw a graph. Now the graph is not given. You won't be able to like exactly draw the graph. If the graphing sheet is given, yes. Otherwise, just draw a random graph. See 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Somewhere over here, draw a point. That is the point A. What about B? It's -9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere over here, and -2 is somewhere over here. 1, 2. Then I'm sorry. This is the just rough graph. Okay. Uh, and then let's do this. I'm not drawing an accurate graph, and over here I'll tell you what exactly this means to verify in a while. Let's draw the C. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 somewhere over here. Okay, and then we have 2 and 3, whereas 2 and 3 is somewhere over here. See, my graphs are not at all accurate, but if you draw something like this, you should join these graphs. It should be a little bit accurate, and if you join this graph like this, you will get two parallel lines. But mine are way out of proportion because you can see the difference, the dimensions, the units are not accurate, but you will get something like this. You'll get a brief idea. It might be parallel or neither. So I do not need to check for perpendicular because perpendicular graphs would be something like this. They're not at all like that because they are on the same way. You understand, right? Because they're something like this and one more is like this. So it's neither or parallel. If you graph them accurately, see, it's something like this. This is what happens. Okay. Now then, what do we do? Okay, I realized what was my mistake. I took -2 over here, 9 and +2. That makes sense now. It'll be over here. This will be over here, and this is the correct graph. Okay, my bad. Don't make the mistake I just now did. Instead of +2, I took -2, which was wrong. So anyways, now after understanding that, still we need to prove them. How do we prove exactly? You need to write the slope formula and use the slope. Find the slope of the coordinates. Now from this graph, you know A and B are on the same line. D and C are on the same line. So A and B is together. C and D is together. So if you're finding the slope of say this line AB, you need to consider this as x1, y1, x2, y2. This is very important. Then again x1, y1, x2, y2. This would be the next one. So what do? Substitute them. Substitute in the sense, put over here y2 is 2. Over here just substitute in the formula 2 minus y1 is 6 divided by -9 minus 3. Put it in the calculator, you'll get the answer, or you can just solve it manually. It's 1/3, 1 by 3. Now find the slope of the line C and D. Now same thing, that is 3 minus 4 divided by 2 minus 5. You will get the answer, -1 by -3. It's 1/3 again, positive 1/3. The slopes are same, and we must remember if the slopes are same, they are parallel lines. That's it. So yes, these are parallel lines. That would be the answer. But you're not selecting the answers. You have to write the answer. You need to do the steps. The rough graph, write the slope formula, use the slope, and then solve it up. This is the method. So this is the example one. That's it. But let's go to another type of problem, just to see more problems if it's perpendicular or neither. Now, in this case, they have given you the question with the graph, where they have not given coordinates. See, for this, they are given coordinates, parallel lines. Over here, even if they give coordinates, it's easy to graph. You will get something like this, and you will understand it's either perpendicular or neither. Now, same method, same thing. But since over here graphs are not there, you need to choose the points. Now over here graph coordinates are not there. You need to choose the points from the graph. Here R and S are on the same line. Take 2 points on the same line and use them as x1, y1, and another line T and U, same thing. Now let's use this. Use the slope formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Substitute x1, y1, x2, y2. Put it in the formula. 7 minus of minus 3 divided by 6 minus of minus 8. The answer is 5 by 7. Now tu, what's going to happen? 0 minus 6 divided by 0 minus of minus 4 minus 3 by 2. Okay, the slopes are not same because they are not parallel. It's fine. But what you have to do is you need to multiply these two slopes, and if you get -1, it is perpendicular. Multiply them. The answer is -15 by 14. That's -1.07. Look, it's very, very close to 1, but it is not 1. Only if you get exactly -1. -1 point, it should not be any decimal. It should be just -1. If that is the case, then your lines would be perpendicular. But over here, it is not the case. So that means this is neither. These are neither perpendicular nor parallel. So you need to do the slope over here. If they're not same, then you must check for perpendicular, multiply the slopes. If they're -1, it's perpendicular. But in this case, it's neither. That's the answer. Let's do one more last problem over here. Similar type. Figure is given. Over here, the coordinates are there. Choose the points. In the line EF, you have taken the points. E is the first x1, y1. F is x2, y2. And then for line DG, similarly take the points. And now find the slopes using this slope formula. That is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Substitute and solve. Again, substitute and solve. You got the slope over here. But compare, is it the same slope? No, it should not be same as well. It cannot be same as well because their lines are close to perpendicular. It's either perpendicular or neither. Now let's multiply the slopes. Let's multiply the slopes. What do you get? They're reciprocal, negative reciprocal of each other. 7 cancels, 3 cancels. You're remaining with -1. Yes, these are perpendicular to each other because the product of the slopes are -1. And sorry, let me just go back. And the answer is the lines are perpendicular. But if you just look in the figure and write perpendicular, it's not enough. You need to write the slope, substitute the slope. See, this is very, very important. Substitute, find the slopes, multiply them. If they are same, it's over. But if they're not same, you need to multiply, check whether it's -1, and then write this. So this is how you solve the penultimate problem, that is the topic number 22. In the next video, we will reach the final topic for this exam, that is topic number 23. This is the final video of the end of term 3 explanation videos. It is the topic number 23, and it is again about proving. We have proved just a while ago SAS postulate congruency by writing. Now we are dealing with SSS congruency. Here, all the three sides must be equal. That's the only thing. We need to make two column proof, and it's given. See, all the three sides are given. They have told AB is congruent to XY, AC is congruent to uh, XZ, and BC is congruent to YZ. Then we need to prove it. Yes, absolutely. Why? Because all of these are given, right? If the what are they given? They are given that the side are postulate. If all the three sides are postulate, then they are congruent. But just make sure when you're writing AB over here and this one over here, which one will it be? So from A to B, B will be having the third side, so it'll be X to Z. A is having single dash over here, XZ. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. So this is very important on the way you write it, and this is not at all difficult, it's just writing. But now what if it's a little difficult problem? This also again a very simple one. They have told these two sides are equal given, and then we need to prove these two triangles are equal. Obviously, the TS side is a reflexive property. It's the same side. So that is side. Let's look over here. RS and UT are congruent. It's given. RT and US, that's also given. Now, ST is congruent to ST or TS itself because it's reflexive property. From all the three sides, we can tell it's congruent because of SSS postulate. Now, here two column proof. The thing is AB over here is congruent to CB, but they have told D is the midpoint of line AC. From midpoint theorem, we know that this and this line, see, this is already given. Since midpoint theorem tells us whenever there's a midpoint, the line is equally cut into halves. That means AD and DC are equal. And then DB is a reflexive property. So we can prove that ABD and CBD are congruent. So that needs to be written. AB and D, whatever is given first, write it. So right over here, AD and DC, that is definition of midpoint. From the midpoint theorem it's given, and then from reflexive property we have BD equal. So all the three sides are equal. That means we have SSS postulate. Similarly, please do try the other ones. They are very straightforward. Over here they have told V is the midpoint of RT. So RV and VT are equal, and VS is reflexive property. So please make sure you go through these. It's very straightforward and simple. Basically, you're proving everything by SSS postulate. Um, Now here as well, sorry, they have given R, Q, R, S, T, everything is given. Only the middle line is not given, but you know that TR must be equal to TR or RT because of reflexive property. It's the same line for both the triangles. Therefore, we can prove by SSS postulate. Similarly, over here as well, they have given all this stuff. See, everything is given. Only thing is like they're telling you AC is bisecting the line BD. Remember, when you bisect a line, the line is cut into half. So we know BC and CD are equal. So BA, this side, this one side, and the top side all are equal. So we can write postulate. So it's very straightforward problems. Please make sure you go through these, practice by yourself, understand. When you look at the figure itself, you can write it. So for writing, this is one of the easiest topics. Your two paragraph proofs, or proof problems. So these are very simple, but please do practice and then be thorough with them. So that's it. That's the end. I just want to wish you all the best, all of you dear students, and I hope your exam will be easy, and I hope these videos have been helpful to you. If you have found them helpful, please do subscribe to them. It would mean a lot to me, and it will really give me a lot of motivation to keep on continuing such videos. And please do practice, write and practice. Write in not only the writing part 1, part 2, and the part 3. Write and practice them, and be thorough with them. Revise them plenty of times. Wish you all the best, and I hope everyone gets great marks. Until then, I hope you all have a great time. All the best, guys.